I have food now, so I would like to apologize in advance for any food noises. I haven't had anything to eat in a good couple hours, and my parents were getting takeaway on their way back from a like a birthday party. We'll start in a couple minutes. Give me like 2 minutes to at least have a little bit of a bite, because I'm hungry. Alright. I still have a plate full of food that I will be munching away at for a little bit. But I think we should be about good to go. I know Captain was going to be a little late, but that's fine. What I need to do real quick is make sure that I have enough recording space. So just give me a moment. So let me make sure I'm just sharing the browser, so I'm not doing anything weird on accident. Like, I don't really want to share the name of my school by accident, for example. Window capture, there we go. Select a window. There we go. Alright, this should look the exact same, but if I now put this over it, you can't see it. Awesome. Okay. Fuck, I accidentally closed the stage channel chat. Yes, Mr. Doctor Self. Shut up, killer. I'll fight you. Excuse me. Yeah, let me make sure that... Cause I didn't get to see the ping that the thingy has started. Yeah, it should just be good to go. I don't care. I'm going to have to confess one thing before I start, and that is that I had no time to prep today. As in, I was too busy with schoolwork the entire day that I did not have time to prepare a little script. So I'm just gonna go over the start, like from the beginning to end. And we'll check out things, like bit by bit. So, let's start with what Pokemon is. Pokemon is a turn-based, PvE or PvP game. We'll just start with the PvE part because that's the game you buy, right? When you buy, like, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, it's like a Switch game, and you go, like, through a story and you, like, beat PvE trainers. And you get to catch these little creatures, and there's a bunch of stuff to do with them. So if I open this webpage, this is for the PvP thing. We'll go a little bit about functionally how like what a Pokemon is and how the battle system works. So in the turn-based game, you would assume that, you know, I take a turn, you take a turn, I take a turn, you take a turn. This is often the case with a bunch of different types of card games. Winging it like usual. Yes, indeed, I'm winging it like usual. I don't have much of a choice because I didn't want to delay this. But at first glance, we should already be able to see that speed stat. This is not the case in Pokemon. The turn order is determined by statistics, and every player takes, selects their actions for the turn at the same time. The actions resolve, and then, with a couple of exceptions, the next turn starts. Sometimes, for example, we'll get into that in a little bit. A player has to do something in between the actions of a turn. And this is a pretty good example Pokemon to do that with. So, a Pokemon consists of a bunch of things. If we go look in the team builder, and I go select the Pokemon, and for flavor we're gonna go Wooloo, we can see that Wooloo has a bunch of different traits going on here. I'll zoom in a little bit more so you can actually see. Wooloo has a type. Pokemon can have, if I'm not mistaken, up to 2 types. I think there's exceptions. Each Pokemon usually has at least 1 type. Wooloo is a normal type. We'll get into how types work in a little bit. They have a level, which determine their stats. Not very important for competitive right now, or for what we're doing right now. Shiny is just like cosmetic. Oh, look how cute. There's a bunch of other things in here, like happiness, hidden power type, Terra type. Those are all mechanics related and not important for surface level introduction. They have an ability, which does, they get up to 3 options of an ability, and that can do multiple things. Like, for example, Bulletproof makes the Pokemon immune to bullet moves, which are like a classification of moves. They can hold on to an item, and items do all sorts of things. Like, for example, the Air Balloon makes you immune to ground-type attacks, but it pops when you're hit. Each Pokemon has stats. There's like a formula related to most of the buttons here and the level. People tend to look at base stats primarily. Base stats, once they go through the formula, are quite important. So, for example, here we can see we have 42 base HP, and then when that goes through the formula machine, we end up with 225 HP. You can train Pokemon to have more or less stats. So let's say we train it. In the game, usually when you would battle a Pokemon and you would KO one, you get related to the type of Pokemon that you KO'd, you get points in this stat. But because we're going to be talking about PvP Pokemon a little bit, all we do is we drag a slider or we punch in a number. So as we can see here, I can make this go up, and then you can see my remaining points go down. So there is a limit, and you can mostly ignore IVs. They are basically related to, they're another stat modifier that has to do with this Pokemon has a slightly higher natural stat than others. But because we're playing a simulator, we can just punch in a number. Okay, and next that we have 4 moves. We also have, lastly, we have a nature. I should have really thought this out well, but nature's basically, you trade one stat for another for a little bit. It's a 10% increase and decrease. Moves. Each Pokemon can run up to 4 moves. There's 3 types of moves. There are status moves, which do something. They can raise your stats. They can lower the opponent's stats. They can do certain field conditions. They can... Usually, status moves are the most interesting and creative, and actually very impactful. And then, of course, we have the physical attack and the special attack. The type that an attack has is important for dealing damage. So here we can see we have defensive type, so this is a normal type, which means that when the Pokemon gets hit by a move, that move that move's type may be resisted by normal, or it might be super effective against normal, changing how much damage the Pokemon takes. So if I really wanted to, I could put Wild Charge, an electric type move, on my normal type Pokemon. This is what we call coverage, and this just uses the 90 base power. What base power is basically, the higher the base power, the more damage you do. Simple. Let's say I were to use Double Edge instead, however. Because I'm a normal type, I get a 50% boost to Double Edge. So there is an offensive advantage to having a good type here. They are used offensively and defensively. Should be pretty reasonable too, that this is a physical attack, this is a special attack. If you attack with the physical stat, it uses your attack stat, and it uses the opponent's defense stat, unless the move says otherwise. There is a move that uses your defense stat for attacking, and there's a move that says instead of using the opponent's special defense, you use their physical defense. More food, yippee. The TLDR is basically, Pokemon have pretty reasonable stats. They have a type, an ability, and up to 4 moves, as well as an item. Items can be consumed in battle, they can be removed in battle depending on certain conditions, and moves can change the stats of your Pokemon. So if we, for example, here we check Cotton Guard, this says raises the user's defense by 3. To someone who's never played Pokemon, that of course doesn't mean a lot. So let's get into how a battle works. Let's say I bring my Wooloo into a battle, and I fight against another Wooloo. This is pretty reasonable for, let's say, Sword and Shield, where Wooloo's like an early game Pokemon. And the battle starts, and I get to click a move. So I'm just gonna go put, real quick, I'm gonna go put like a couple moves on this. Wild Charge, Protect, Facade. There we go. I'll give it like a little bit of... I'll give this one a little bit of attack. I don't care. I'm just gonna give it something. And then I'm going to quickly make a copy of this and open it. Open it on my other browser. Hi, Captain. Give me 1 second. I need to import this. This is very awkward. It's almost as if I really wish I had more time. But unfortunately, life is pain. Let's see, how do I fix this? I need to go into the lobby chat again. Let me challenge myself real quick. So, Wooloo versus Wooloo. Now, I really hope this won't make too much noise. So, we have the 2 Wooloos fight, however cute that might be. I'll mute this for a moment. And now we get to select a move. As we know from earlier, our speed stat is involved in determining who moves first, and so are like our moves. So let's say I click Wild Charge, then it will use my physical attack against this Wooloo's physical defense. Now, if I were to instead click Cotton Guard, this would raise my defense by 3 stages. This is a battle mechanic called stat boosting, and it can go up to +6 and down to -6, where 0 is neutral. -6, I think -6 is you have 1/3 of the stat remaining, while +6 is times 4. So if I click this, excuse me, and I just do this real quick, then we can see that +3 means I now have 2.5 times the defense that I had before. There are attacking moves that can change stats, but when we fight against other Pokemon, stat boosts are pretty enormous. For example, there's moves that boost your attack, allowing you to hit harder. There's moves that boost your speed, allowing you to outspeed Pokemon you otherwise have no business being faster than. There's moves that do both. We'll see that when we go into team building a little bit. But the TLDR is we can influence our Pokemon stats, and we can use our Pokemon's moves against the opposing Pokemon's moves to eventually KO them. So I'm just going to click Wild Charge. We can see here that against me it does 8% damage. But against them it does 18, because my defense is drastically raised. This is going to take a moment, because I could have picked something better. I had really hoped... I'm sorry, fella. I had hoped to have more time today. I spent a good 6 hours at uni today. And then it started raining. Okay, so we're going to KO the opposing Wooloo now. And because I have Pokemon standing and they don't, I win the battle. So, basically, TLDR of Pokemon is you have team versus team, click move against opposing team, up till opposing team dead. Of course, we would like to have something a little stronger than a Wooloo. And Wooloo on its own isn't that strong. So, as I said earlier, we have types. I'm hitting with normal type, but if we look at the type chart, which I should have open here, this is the type chart. This is a list of all types that exist. Hold on, I'm waiting for the typing. I could help with battles. Yeah, I now have a copy of the client open on my incognito router. It means I can copy paste test Pokemon quickly. Cam on streams, blocks and types. Excuse me. Thanks for letting me know that. But this is the type chart. So if we look at, I think it's okay if I just, I think you can just about barely see it. Yeah, okay. Awesome. That's the type chart. Okay, so as we can see here, normal type, defensively doesn't really do anything special. It takes 2 times damage from fighting types and is completely immune to any damage from ghost types. If we look at something a little more interesting, we have the water type, which is pretty basic. Basic, I mean, it's like you find water types in most element-based games, right? We can see that it takes half from fire, takes half from water, takes double from electric, double from grass, half from ice, and half from steel. But it deals double damage to fire, double damage to ground, and double damage to rock. So we can see here that we have each type has offensive and defensive bonuses. Now what happens when we have a Pokemon with 2 types? So let's take just some Pokemon. I'm going to scroll down a little bit. And we'll give a good example here with Gliscor. Because Gliscor is a really good typing. Ground and flying. So if we were to take a look at flying, we can see here that hold on. Flying is a good defensive typing. Jeez, I need to think about my words for a second. Flying is a pretty good defensive typing, but it has a couple exploitable weaknesses. It takes double damage from electric and double damage from ice, as well as rock, but resists grass, fighting, and bug. Now, if we were to look at ground, oh right, it's also immune to ground, my bad. If we were to look at ground, it is weak to water, it's immune to electric, it's weak to grass, it's weak to ice, resists poison, resists rock. So if we end up combining these together, then I'm just going to type it in here. We end up having an interesting result for the weaknesses of Gliscor. We can see that it actually is immune to electric, even though flying... Oh, that's the wrong one. Even though flying is weak to electric, because ground is immune, it ends up doing nothing. And because flying is immune to ground, ground moves also end up doing nothing. Hold on, I see some more typing. I smell typing. I'm gonna take this moment to have some food. It's getting cold, actually. I need to hurry up eating. So do the no effects always overpower? If one of your 2 types is immune to one of the incoming attacking types, so if it has 2 weaknesses, does it take 4 times damage or just the 2 times? That is actually what I was going to go over next. We can see that flying and ground are weak to ice. And then you actually do take 4 times the damage, which Pokemon Showdown here nicely shows as bolded text. So we can see here, water is a 2 times weakness and ice is a 4 times weakness. But it's completely immune to electric and ground damage. The type chart, the nice thing about playing on Pokemon Showdown is that most of the information you would want to Google, you can get very quickly in-game. So for example here, the weaknesses of the Pokemon Gliscor, I could just type in a command and it just shows me. Let me see, am I in the chat? Okay, I'm in the chat. Let's say I wanted to know what the move Earthquake does. I use the DT command that stands for data, and it just tells me right here, the move Earthquake, its type, its physical special status alignment, its power, accuracy, how many times you can use it in a battle, and then a little short description of how it works. Alright, so type immunities take priority even if one is weak over it. Yes. Yeah, you can use it also for Pokemon, so if I want more data on a Pokemon, let's say, here we get a short description of the stats, of the abilities, of the typing, and some other stuff that usually isn't that important. There is one more battle mechanic I really want to cover, and then we can do a little bit more team building. I think Captain can already see what I'm doing here. Dude, high quality ketchup is so worth the money. It multiplies the weaknesses of both types. So, if you have a type that is neutral and a type that is weak, you get 1 times damage times 2 times damage is 2 times. If you have 2 types that are weak, it's 2 times damage times 2 times damage is 4 times. But 0 times 1 or 0 times 2 is still 0. So it's multiplicative. Now, I'm going to show one more thing related to battling. Because we get to lead a Pokemon. But not only do we get to select moves, we also get to switch our Pokemon. At any point in time, we can decide to forego taking a move and instead replacing our Pokemon with another Pokemon right at the back. If we do this, the opponent may still use a move. So if I do this, this Wooloo will now use Cotton Guard. We use our turn to switch the Pokemon, and the Wooloo uses the turn to still take a turn. Like, still use a move. Here, actually, I have a move that does both of those things at the same time. U-turn is a very good move. It actually allows you to attack for a little bit of damage, and then switch out into another Pokemon. These are called pivot moves, and they are distributed somewhat widely, but also a little bit scarcely. So, now that we've seen most of the battle mechanics, I mean, showing items is relatively simple, right? There's items that restore a little bit of health, like leftovers. Item that lets you deal 30% more damage, but uses 10% of your HP when attacking. There's all sorts of stuff that you will get a little more acquainted with the longer you play the game. Same like how does damage calculation work? What abilities are good? What Pokemon form what role? Because if you were to look at this stat spread, could you tell me, if I reset this to default, is this a good offensive or defensive Pokemon? Alright, Killer says defensive. Why would it be a defensive Pokemon? Big defense stat? Yeah, but it's got a drastically smaller special defense stat. And it's got a pretty okay attack stat, too. It's not just in the stats either. Yes, the types. Types are very important. Because as we know now, Gliscor is a ground flying type, which means it's immune to electric and ground, two very good attacking types. So what does special attack defense actually mean? There is a difference. I'm just going to forfeit and close this real quick. There's a difference between a physical attack, which is this icon, which uses your attack stat, and the Pokemon that takes the attack's defense stat. So if I were to use U-turn against the Wooloo, it would use a damage formula using my attack stat and the Wooloo's defense stat. But if I have a move like Dark Pulse, which is a special attack, it would use my special attack stat and the Wooloo's special defense stat. So Gliscor is actually... You were right, it is a defensive Pokemon. It is particularly good at physical defense, but thanks to its type immunities and a little bit of special investment, because as soon as we start investing a little bit into special defense, this stat can go decently high. It becomes pretty tanky. Combining Gliscor, combining Gliscor's decent stats as well as good move pool, because of course not each Pokemon gets access to every move. They have a set list of moves that they can use, and their typing is already pretty good. But there is one thing that I forgot about for a bit, and that is status effects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give both of these lovely little fellas an orb real quick. The Flame Orb and the Toxic Orb. Oops. These both afflict my Pokemon with a status effect. And we'll see very quickly what a status effect is. Yeah, my Gliscor is 0 Thingamabobs. I don't care. Shut up. And then I tab in on the other side. So we're gonna get a status effect here. What a status effect is well, there's a difference between ones that stay between switching out and ones that don't. We're going to get a status effect here that stays between switching out. So I have an item that burns my own Pokemon. This makes me take a little bit of damage over time. Damn. I can't use DT burn. That sucks. So I think it's 1/16 of my maximum health per turn, and I deal half physical damage. So I'm going to switch this out now, and then I'm going to show you why Gliscor is so good. Keep in mind that you can only have one singular non-volatile... they're called non-volatile, but they should call them status effects. One single status effect at a time. Gliscor has the ability Poison Heal, which means that not only can it not be burnt or put to sleep, it actually heals from the poison effect instead of taking damage. This makes it a really good defensive Pokemon, combined with its good move pool. It then also adds a lot of utility to the team, because it has an okay speed stat, which means U-turn is pretty decent. If you want something fast in against a bulky, slow Pokemon, U-turn gives you the opportunity to do that. If you want to be slower, that is also an option. If you use U-turn after the opponent switches or takes their move, then I get to put in my Pokemon without any danger. Or with more information. And there's a bunch of other stuff you can do with Gliscor. Like, Gliscor is one of those Pokemon that's just really good. Yes, so having one block status is already poisoned. Indeed. There's a bunch of status effects. And if I really wanted to, I could make status effects myself. Because I'm the god of this Showdown server, so I can do anything I want. I'm still eating real quick, give me a moment. I'm hungry. And it's getting kind of cold. Also, I'll put the music off repeat, even though it's a super chill song. You guys can't hear it, but Twitch can. I'm just gonna close this. There we go. Alright. So, I've now mostly shown off the basic battle mechanics. There's a couple more things you should probably know about, like what are entry hazards, and what is type, like how do you make a good type composition. And then we'll get into special battle mechanics that are related to our Showdown server, but also official things. So, entry hazards are something that I haven't shown yet, but let's say we throw some little pebbles on the field. Stealth Rock is an entry hazard that is pretty widely distributed. In fact, the Glide score is pretty good because it gets Stealth Rock, and it's so tanky, so you can get it off pretty consistently. What Stealth Rock does is it deals, if you are neutral to rock, 12.5% of your max health in damage when you switch in. If you're weak to rock, you take 25. If you are 4 times weak to rock, you take 50%. And then the same doubling and halving goes the other way as well. If you have a quad resist, I think you only take like 4%, no less, 3%. This is one of those very important things for singles, which is the primary format we currently have running. If we get a little bit of life into this, I will also be making a doubles format. So then we'll be getting 2v2 battles, which have entirely different mechanics I really don't want to talk about right now. Because we'll be here for a little while. Because that's when, that's the format, like, official tournaments are done in. But it's a little bit more difficult to get into. Because there's like a bunch of extra rules involved. Munch. I'm so hungry, man. That is a good question. We're gonna tie that in immediately with the Showdown server. Because I'll need a short little tangent. I have actually modified how many Pokemon can be on a team. Alright, see you in a little bit, Emily. Okay. So, if I'm just clicking Pokemon, I can, by default, add up to 6. The team consists of 6 Pokemon. Which, as we can see, form defensive coverage. So some Pokemon are resistant, so some Pokemon are weaker. Fortunately, Showdown has a little tool at the very bottom that can see, okay, these are like uncovered resistances. So here we have 2 weaknesses to dark with no resistances. So it does help you out a little bit. But what is important to know is that Pokemon have tiers. Here, how Showdown does it, or like how Smogon, the overseeing body does it, the governing body, is Pokemon are rated in tiers. Let's say we take a look at OU. This is the standard tier for like popular Pokemon in 1v1s. It's a little bit like Rock, Paper, Scissors. You can see Rock, Paper, Scissors within Fire, Water, Grass. But most of them aren't really Rock, Paper, Scissors. Because if we look at Ghost's effectiveness against Ghost, we can see that this is just like gun versus gun. Ghost is super effective to Ghost. Dragon is super effective to Dragon. There's very unique stuff in here. Ice has a bunch of types it doesn't do very well against, but it also has a bunch of types it does very well against. Meanwhile, defensively, it is god-awful. It only has a single resistance. So, I would say it's more complicated Rock, Paper, Scissors. Back to where I was going. So, Pokemon are ordered in tiers, which are like there's like a bunch of statistics and rules and stuff that people that are overly invested into this, they basically manage the tiers, right? But I'm the god of my own server, so I can change the tiers however I want. And some Pokemon are either by default, because they are like if we look here, we can see, well, Koraidon and Miraidon, these are box art legendaries, what they're called. These immediately go to Ubers. Let's just take a different example for a second. Palkia here. Base stat total of 680. Look at these stats and compare them to Gliscor. These things are cracked. In the Ubers tier, we will always find Pokemon too good for OU. But we have a different little rule. Because if I go to my teams list, and I just take like a random team, for example here, this does not have any Ubers in it. This is 6 Pokemon. But if I click on this, Calyrex, wait, this is an Uber. And if I click on validate to see if my team is legal, it actually is. So, I have modded the server such that you may use Ubers on your team. You may use one Uber on your team. But to do so, you need to sacrifice a Pokemon slot. So, each team can hold up to 6 Pokemon. But on our server, you can decide to take 5 instead and replace one of your Pokemon with an Uber. Blood for the Blood God. Here's the thing, actually. Ubers are really good on a team of 6. But it turns out, having 5 Pokemon is a major disadvantage. Starting with 5 Pokemon makes your type defensive coverage a lot worse. It is very difficult to find a good defensive core with 5 Pokemon in singles. Additionally, you also just have less total health to be able to tank with. And each Pokemon on your team is going to have to do more in one slot. This is called role compression. Let's say you have a Pokemon that wants to set Stealth Rock entry hazards, or a Pokemon that wants to remove them. Now you need to find a way to merge both of those into one Pokemon. And that coincidentally also means that you need to sacrifice move slots to be able to fit that. And now that Pokemon needs to be able to survive a super effective attack, and now you lose some of your offensive stats. And it ripples all through your team. So far, these stat demons have not actually been that good. And that is in part because we have battle mechanics that are legal. Let's start with the Megas. As you can see here, this thing is called the Abomasnow Mega. If we click on it and we just go type Abomasnow, we can see there is a regular Pokemon called Abomasnow. It has abilities, it has stats. These are actually the two of the same. Once per battle, if I have a Pokemon that holds their respective Megastone, and there's a limited list of Pokemons that have one, they Mega Evolve, they can get a new ability, they get 100 stat points extra, and that's mostly it. There are actually a bunch of Pokemon that are really good Megas. Some even so good they are banned. So if we were to look here, we can see that Mega Salamence, well, regular Salamence is not cooking. It's not doing too hard, but Mega Salamence is apparently good enough to not be allowed with the regular dogs. Which makes a lot of sense. This thing is hilariously broken. Yeah, so they banned it to Ubers. Additionally, another battle mechanic we have is Z-moves. Z-moves are also a once per game thing, where you can decide, hey, I have this Z crystal, let's say for Dragon. This is Dragonium Z, so once per game on this Pokemon, I can cast an extra powered up Dragon move. And that thing will just hit way harder. So if I were to do /DT, reconnect, please. Thank you. Then here we can see that this is an 80 base power move. But if we turn it into a Z move, it actually becomes 160 base power. So it's twice as strong. These are the two primary special battle mechanics that you have access to in our mode right now. And actually, they're soon going to be releasing new Mega Pokemon because there's a new game coming out in not too long, I think. So you might wonder, okay, so what is so special about your Showdown server except for that it's just the standard National Dex format, which basically says all old content is still available and we just pile everything on one big pile and we see what happens because it's funny. It's just an old National Dex format, and you allowed Ubers in with the cost of one extra team slot. Well, if you just give me a second. The code of my server is actually publicly available, because it must be. I'm not allowed to hide it. And if I go down all the way in here, I can freely change anything I want. And I actually have a big file. And you can also find a link in the Showdown Discord, which is linked on my main Discord. Right here, basically, the list, like the rules are listed. And I started making changes. For example, if we look here, stupid thing. Mudshot, by default, is 55 base power and 90 accuracy. Now, I'm going to go and take, like, a Pokemon that can learn it, right? Or a lower speed, actually. Here we can see, actually, this is now instead 70 base power. Because I wanted to make it slightly stronger. To be able to give a couple Pokemon a special attacking ground move that wasn't that consistent or strong. And you can see here, there's a bunch of stuff done. I'm also experimenting. This is probably a really bad idea, but I think it could be really funny. Captain, this is why you pay attention to the changelog. There's a lot of stuff in here you would probably like to see. And even at sometimes I make completely custom moves for Pokemon. For example, there is a Pokemon called Flygon. And this thing, yeah, I'll admit it, it's not that good. This is with buffed stats. I've given it extra stats. And it's really cool that it has Levitate. So we wanted to keep this. But we also, because it evolves from an antlion, its thing is like sand and desert and stuff. We wanted to give it a little bit of sandstorm synergy, which is a weather effect that you can set on the field. And I did that by adding a custom move. Also, for some reason, this hasn't updated. I thought I updated this. Give me one nanosecond to check if I actually updated it. Am I schizo? Set sandstorm on hit. One moment. Switch DP deserts. Yeah, okay, I just need to refresh the page. I think I just need to refresh the page, and if that doesn't work, then I'm coping. Yeah, okay, that worked. Weather. Yes, so we have the standard battle effects, but we can also alter how the field works. So we can change the weather. We can also do very other things. Because there is also a move called Trick Room, which, for 6 turns, inverts the speed order. So slow Pokemon go first, fast Pokemon go last. There's all sorts of niche little battle mechanics we can find, and if I have to go over all of them, I'll be here for hours. And that's why it's nice that you can find a lot of information in-game. You can ask people about things. And, well, honestly, also, when you're new, you just have to learn. I'm not going to explain everything in the game to you, because it's going to take a long time. But let's say we go over weather real quick. There's a couple weather conditions. We have snow, we have a sandstorm, we have rain, and we have sun. I think that's it. Let me double check. Conditions, there we go. Yes. So in this, let's say it's the sun is up, so the weather is harsh sunlight. Then fire type moves will deal more damage. They will deal twice as much damage, and water types moves will have their damage halved. And then there's a couple other synergies, like for example the ability chlorophyll doubles your speed in the sun, or solar beam, or solar blade. These are two attacks that usually the first turn you start charging, and in the second turn it attacks. But in the sun, they attack immediately. And so rain is basically the opposite of sun. It also has synergies. Snow is actually something I've buffed. For that, we can consult the document. Did I forget to put the document? I forgot to put it in the documentation. I just realized I don't have a section for weather changes in the documentation. Oops. Basically, snow gives your ice type Pokemon a 1.5 times multiplier to their defense stat. But they also, on my server, they give you a slight bit more ice damage and a slight bit more speed to ice type Pokemon. Yeah, I'm trying to make snow good because ice types are bad. It turns out, ice is not a very good defensive type. So increasing their defense is not good. So snow needs to be offensively good. Sandstorm does, I think, 1/16 max health per turn against Pokemon that do not have a Sandstorm immune type, that also has moves and abilities that synergize with it. And then there's also terrains, which are like basically weather effects, but they can be next to the weather and also have their special things that go on. No, it's not counted as a status effect because the weather affects the whole battlefield. So let's say I set up the sun, then my opponent also does double the fire damage. But let's say I set up the sun and then my opponent sets up the rain, and then my sun is gone because there can only be one weather effect at the same time. I'll show a pretty decent example of a rain team in a second. So if you make Sandstorm, do you take damage too if nothing's preventing it? Yes, you will take damage from your own Sandstorm if your Pokemon is not immune to the Sandstorm damage. It affects the whole field. So let's take a look at a rain team. I actually have a team built around rain. Here I have an ability that when the Pokemon switches in, it sets the rain for 5 turns. And then when we look at the rest of the team, here I have a Pokemon that, while the rain is active, this Pokemon's speed is doubled. So he goes really fast. And the same goes for Mega Swampert, which also has Swift Swim. And then, because I don't want to have only physical attacking Pokemon, because that means I can get stonewalled by a physical wall, I also have special attackers. So I have Archaludon, which at a first glance wouldn't look like it's specifically a Pokemon that's good in rain. However, Archaludon gets a special move for itself, which makes it absolutely ludicrous in rain. This is one of those same moves that usually would take 1 turn to charge and then attack the next turn. But if you remember the stat changes we discussed earlier, this move, when charging, buffs your special attack by 50%. It gives you +1 special attack. And then, if the rain is up, it immediately shoots the 130 base power move. And 130 base power is high. That's usually already where moves start becoming less accurate, as we can see here with Draco Meteor. Railgun but no charge in the rain? Yeah. There's another way to circumvent the charge. That's using an item. But that item is used... basically, your holder's 2-turn moves complete in 1 turn. And then it's consumed. This item is really good. But the Pokemon that is known for abusing this item is not Orcalodon. Let's just say that Pokemon is not on the list here. Because it's not even allowed in Ubers. They completely axed it. Yeah, it's very spooky. I'm very happy that I completely banned it in my format too, because I think Captain would click Power Herb Geomancy and then sweep the entire team. I damn well know you get desperate enough, buddy. And I'm sorry that I sometimes make you feel like shit. But then lastly, here we have another two special things about rain, right? So Manaphy here does not get a direct offensive boost from rain. Instead, we get a defensive boost. Hydration removes the status effect of Manaphy at the end of the turn. And I have a move here that restores all my health and forces me to have this sleep status condition for 2 turns. But if I click rest in the rain, I will just wake up at the end of the turn. And I just get all my health back for free. And Manaphy is a pretty good amount of natural bulk, which means it's usually... So no EP just nap. Yeah. But also here. Let's take a look at Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn, Iron Barbs, contact damage, defenses. What is this thing doing? This doesn't have direct synergy with Rain. But it does. Ferrothorn is a very good defensive Pokemon. But what do Grass and Steel have in common? If I just open this real quick, what do Grass and Steel have in common? Yeah, they're both weak to fire. And what does Rain do? It halves fire damage. So Rain actually defensively supports Ferrothorn. It's the type it's most afraid of. It only takes half damage, or compared to what it would do without the Rain, it takes half damage. It makes it, it helps protect it a little more. And you can ask Captain, who is currently also in the stage channel, Ferrothorn's a bitch. Very obnoxious Pokemon to play against. And you make it even harder to kill. So this, for example, is a simple team built around Rain. So I have a Rain setter and a bunch of Pokemon that can take advantage of it. And if we take a close look at this... Swanna doesn't actually get access to Drizzle. But if I just DT Swanna and I filter on my format, we can see that this is different. It's got a minor increase in stats. Excuse me. It's got access to a different ability in Drizzle. And it's got also now access to Wave Crash, which is a move it originally didn't have. Because I wanted to bring some new life to the Pokemon. It directly competes with another Pokemon, which is also... It's also a water-flying Pokemon. Pelipper's been very popular in setting Rain up. Polytone unfortunately has fallen off. But maybe I'll find something for it. And then the big original Rain setter, Kyogre. If there's anyone that can abuse Rain, it's Kyogre. But that's mostly because... Let's just say, if you find memes, right? Where people show the damage range... This is the damage calculator. Here we can see a basic example of like, oh hey, this is something something. Like, these stat changes against that Pokemon does so much damage. If there are memes of Kyogre one-shotting, like, resists using its, like, best move, then it hits hard. I actually really wonder how much damage it does to, like, a non-specially invested Palkia, right? Kyogre, choice specs, Water Spout. And then let's say we take... we set up the Rain, yes, and we take a Pokemon that is quad resisted. This Pokemon, Palkia, takes 25% of the damage from water type attacks, and yet it still gets killed in two hits. Fish. Okay, that's mostly because this isn't like a Palkia that's built to counter Kyogre, right? Palkia can very well kill Kyogre. I need to reopen this channel. Give me 1 second. I hate feral shit. Oh, I know what you hate more. Watch out before I jump scare you. My silly brain always confuses Kyogre and Kyurem. I was like, what do you mean fish? That ain't a fish. And then I realized, yeah. Kyurem, actually. If we look here, we can see that Kyurem, without either its black or its white form, is actually allowed in OU. And it's pretty good, too. It hits very hard. But I have actually opted to buff Kyurem Black and Kyurem White. By default, Kyurem White gets a signature move called Ice Burn. Right? We can see here, it's a charge move. It hits the second turn and has a chance to burn. What does OU mean? It stands for overused. It is the highest tier below Ubers. It's the most popular tier. But here we can see this is Ice Burn, signature move of Kyurem White. Unfortunately, however, I decided to buff it, so it is now an Ice-type Electro Shot. In Snow. Because Snow needs something, man. And this is not proven to be good enough yet. So I have been, like, wildly modding things. It's all open source. How did you buff Kyurem Black? I gave it the exact same thing, but physical. Not Ice Burn, Freeze Chuck. I altered its signature move. They both have basically a physical and a special version. Yeah, Trick Room, I made... So by default, for example, I mentioned Trick Room earlier. It's a 5-turn... field effect that makes all the fast Pokemon go last, the slow Pokemon go first. I made that 6 turns because it was not very good in 1v1 battles. And there, the captain has been playing the ever-living shit out of Trick Room teams. Trick Room teams are very tough to beat if they get consistent. And it turns out a bunch of the Mega Pokemon, which are like really good Pokemon, are very good in Trick Room. One day I'll hit you with the unaware, physically defensive Dondozo set, don't worry. That thing is like a Alomola, but instead of Regenerator, it has unaware. And it has like triple the defense stat. Really funny. But yeah, I've been wildly making changes. And I kind of wanted to take some time to maybe make a team or two. on stream. And then if you guys want, I'd be right happy to play a couple games. But I might go back to streaming through Twitch chat. Can I please battle someone that isn't Casper? Oh yeah, about that. For those on the stream that are not in the Discord server, I'm using a Sage channel to have faster input from questions. If you look at the Discord server, you can see that we have the main channels, and then we have a category which is the game formats. If I go over here, I can queue for a bunch of different game formats. So here, National Dex Custom is a game format, and I have a bunch of channels related to it. I do announcements related to changes I make to the format. There's a list of information, which also happens to link to this page. You can actually, if you think a change would be good, you can post it in the forum channel, and we can review it. Discussion is just the format general, and then team building, you can also create posts about teams, and we can help, lend a hand there. I'll be posting a bunch of sample teams there later, because I have a bunch of teams. Not that many yet, I'm gonna make more, and not all of them are good, but they explore some concepts that I kind of wanted to try out. Oh, and it might maybe be fair to go public about a change that's not in here. I'll let Killer type a moment. Just give him a second. Sorry, I also have a Twitch chat to talk to, and I really hope I unmuted my mic. Okay, if you at least I unmuted my mic, that would have been very awkward. I did forget to press the record button, but I'll re-record something a little more structured later. How much does defense do? How does it calculate the final damage? Damage calculation. Here is a formula from Gen 1, but it changes over time. And here we can see the most modern formula. There's a bunch of stuff that goes into it. But basically, the higher your defense, the lower your physical damage taken. And the higher your attack, the more physical damage you will deal. So right here in the formula, we see attack and defense come into play. So let's say I have twice the attack than defense, I will deal double the damage. Let's say you're playing a 2v2 battle. Some moves will hit multiple Pokemon. Those moves will get a slight damage decrease. And then I think it's a 0.8 times damage multiplier. And then that damage will be dealt to all Pokemon. Still face for front Tyranitar. Yes, I'm going to go over that in a second. I'm going to copy paste a team that I have right here really quickly into my other browser. And then I will challenge myself. And I will fight against myself with that exact same team for a moment. I said challenge, please. Thank you. Oh, I forgot its item. Oh, well, that would be it. Very quickly validate. Yeah, right. Good enough. Good enough. So right now, I gave a team. So you have two different accounts, things to fight yourself. Yeah, I have another browser open that you can't see. I'm going to use this team. What is important to know about this team is that it has a Pokemon called Zoroark in it. Its ability Illusion is a bit different from vanilla servers. Let me double check that I have the right command. If we check the data for National Dex Custom, and we go into the rule set, we can see a rule here called Illusory Nicknames. And as you can see right here, my Zoroark is called in quotation marks Corviknight, which just so happens to be the name of a different Pokemon that I'm able to use. If I go into battle, we can see right here that Zoroark I have on the team is replaced with a Corviknight. This is what both players see right now. Zoroark's thing is that it projects an illusion. So, I didn't switch the right Pokemon in, I think. Let me double check. No, it's fine. This right here is Clodsire. Clodsire is a ground and poison type. That means it resists both physical attacks as well as fairy type attacks. Focus Blast and Vacuum Wave are physical. Moonblast is fairy. So reasonably, if I were to attack this right now, I would click Shadow Ball. But it's immune. How did that happen? So let's switch Pokemon real quick. And instead of this actually being a Clodsire, it's a Zoroark. You can sneakily hide a Pokemon in your team. I'm not sure how balanced this is yet, because I cooked this up a little while ago, and we haven't had that much time to test. But if I need to, I will add a message right below Team Preview here that says that something isn't quite right. If there is a Zoroark present. But basically, yeah, you can be a sneaky little bitch. I have a team right here. It's called Trolled because I was testing it. Like a hologram kind of thing. Basically, it appears on the battlefield like one of the Pokemon in your party. Specifically, the last one that's alive that is not itself. So it looks like that on the battlefield until it either dies or it takes down, like it gets hit by an attack. Then the illusion breaks. So here I have a fighting type weak Pokemon called Kyurem. I have a quadruple fighting type weak Pokemon called Kingambit. And I have a Zoroark that looks like a quadruple fighting type weak Tyranitar. But Zoroark's a ghost type, so it is completely immune to fighting type attacks. And I think that's funny. Let's just say Captain learned in a very funny way that you could do this with Zoroark on my server because he clicked the fighting type move into my quote unquote Kingambit, which happened to be a Zoroark. I'm going to close this now. So is that one fight seed in Megamind? Yeah, sure. As Captain noted earlier, though, as we take a look at Zoroark's stats, we can see that it's offensively quite threatening. It has high speed, high special attack, high attack. Or like, okay attack. But it is extremely frail. There's two forms of Zoroark. You have Hisui, which is a normal ghost type. And you have regular Zoroark, which is just the dark type. The big difference between these is just the typing and their move pools. They're slightly different. I have modded their stats to be the same. So if I were to put these next to each other and look at their stats, we can see that the stats are the exact same. They however do have their own signature move. I think this is like a dark, or is it? Night Days, right here. This is Zoroark Dark signature move, but apparently this is like useless. I guess Dark Pulse slightly more accurate and has like a better effect. And this is Bitter Malice. So they do have their own like signature things. They're different Pokemon, but they follow the same idea. And then the last couple days, I've been working on something very cool. Should I let them see the Trick Room team? If you want to play a game, Trick Room v Trick Room, or Trick Room v any other team that I have, sure. Because I know you like your Trick Room teams. And then we can show it off. But first, because this is something you haven't seen either. Captain, do you remember when I made Chronal Distortion? I renamed it from Distortions to Distortion. I have a custom ability that is given to the God of Time, and then also like a piece of leek that can time travel. There is a trio of legendaries from the 4th generation, the Creation Trio. Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. And Dialga wields the power over time, is the God of Time. Palkia is the God of Space, and Giratina, I can't necessarily say what exactly he does. He has, let's just say he has his own dimension and stuff, and he does a bunch of things. I have given each of these three a new ability. Chronal Distortion is interesting. Basically what it does is whenever an attacking move is clicked, it hits for 80% of the regular damage, and then in 2 turns, it hits again for 40% of the regular damage. So basically, it breaks up the move slightly and chucks it into the future. And this can actually trigger most types of secondary effects again. The later you issue, got it. It is both an offensive and a defensive ability. But I now have actually written 2 more abilities, and I still kind of need to test them, but I know Palkia's one actually works. Palkia gets Spatial Distortion. When Palkia enters the field, it just distorts space around it that you cannot, you are forced onto the ground. Basically, whenever Palkia enters the field, moves are more accurate, and you are always grounded, so you will always be hit by ground type attacks. When it leaves the field, unlike Dialga's ability, which then immediately deactivates, yeah, the future moves will still hit. I think. I actually haven't tested that. That's a good point. The future moves might still hit. I'm going to have to double check that. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't, which is okay with me. Here, if Palkia leaves the field, space needs some time to fix itself, so you are still grounded for 2 turns. Which is a pretty big deal, because as we know from the type chart, flying types take no damage from ground type attacks, but now because the flying type is forced onto the ground, you just take neutral damage. Tippity tap, tippity tap. You can't have more than one of each guy on a team. You cannot have duplicates, but Lewis begged so much that I actually have a copy of the same format that allows you to have more than one of the same guy on a team. And that's mostly because he wanted to run 5 Bidoofs or 6 Bidoofs, and I'm not going to play that mode. It's there just for the fun of it. Also, having multiple of the same Pokemon usually isn't that good. I have one more of these sick abilities to go through. Because that's the one I was working on right before I started stream. But I have not tested it at all. I still need to test it. Giratina's thing is that it has a pocket dimension. So when you switch it in, you send everything to a pocket dimension. All the field effects, weather, terrain, hazards, they're gone. And they cannot be set by anyone except for Giratina until the effect is over. Fuck you mean no? No, it just says no. My pocket dimension. No rain for you. Bye. I'll be updating its moveset in the near future such that it actually has access to most of the things it restricts access to. Giratina's Uber, yes. The idea is that it's a very strong defensive Pokemon. But also, because it has an Origin form, Giratina Origin is an offensive Pokemon, I wanted to give both something. So, this kind of fits right in between, right? Because this Giratina Origin is usually used as a spin blocker, but now you can also use it as a hazard remover, if you want to. You will be able to set hazards with it, because it's his fucking pocket dimension. What are you gonna do, man? Like, hold on, let me find the line that I wrote for when it rejects your move, because I have an on-move effect. Give me 1 second. Yeah, if you try to set a field effect, it will it will tell you that the move failed, and the message with that it failed is, you do not own this realm. I thought that was pretty fire. So with that dude's is it still up when he's not on the field actively? No. But because it removes effects when, like his aura effect is that he removes effects and restricts you from placing more. But if he places them and he leaves, they're still there. So, like, enjoy. Trick Room time. He also removes Trick Room. Trick Room is a pseudo weather effect. Pseudo weather effects are gone. Bye bye. Captain, I made it even worse. He also deletes any primordial weather. Delta Stream, Primordial Sea. They're gone. I will rip you. Brother, you're in his pocket dimension. What are you gonna do? Oh no, my crutch gets counted. For those who can't see it, hold on. Let me screen share my other screen real quick. For chat. I have the stage channel open right here, right? Come on. Display 2. You can do it. There we go. Here, I have a stage. This is the Twitch chat that I want to read, and then this is the stage chat. Yeah, Giratina just switches in and bye Trick Room. Hi, Mom Famous. Hi, Captain. How you doing? Yeah, I made this channel for now. But fuck, I need to switch it back. There we go. We're so famous right now. Hell yeah. But yeah, in case you wanted to see, by the way, the code's pretty cool. You can not only see it publicly on GitHub, but I will screen share this to stream. So if you want to see this, you should look at my stream real quick. I have an ability that really just mimics, if I go up here, basically if you check the regular abilities, then here we have basically something that I have mostly done as well. So it like when it enters, it sets the effect, it does some other stuff, and then if I go look here and I look at absolute distortion, it's practically the same thing. And then it just sets a field effect when it starts, it just removes. It removes all the weather. It removes the terrains. It removes the pseudo weathers. It all goes bye bye. And then when you try to use a move, and you don't have the permission, because this just says, okay, yeah, someone with this ability, you're just allowed to use it. And you just no, can't do. It's the whole. No, he's just like Giratina's just like, oh, welcome to my world. And then he just shows you around, sets 3 layers of spikes because motherfucker tanky as hell. And then probably fucks off again. I needed something cool, and I think this is really cool. I think this is a really cool ability. Don't worry though, if let's say you have an ability that sets a weather or a terrain, when this disappears, those abilities will reactivate in speed order. So you will have your weather reset. So if Giratina leaves the field against, let's say, a Kyogre who sets rain, then rain will go back up. Because that makes sense, right? Giratina just kind of says, What's stopping you from resetting it right after? Let me close the other thing. There we go. I thought it was a really cool concept for an ability. I thought of other things and they just weren't as funny as this one. There's no Pokemon that does this. And it kind of fits in theme. Giratina does have its own pocket dimension with full control over it. Oh, and will you give them the instructions to go to the modded server, the Twitch chat? Okay, yeah, right, that's a good point. Both you fellas in stage channel and in Twitch chat, to actually connect to my version of Showdown, what you do is you type showdown.casper1123.nl. It's a .nl because .nl saves me a couple bucks a year. .com is just simply more expensive. So you go here. It might take a moment to load because I have a goofy little mod loader. And give me a moment. Yeah. So there is one thing. If you you can take a look around. If you want to actually log in, you have to go to the official Showdown page. You have to log in. So if I were to log in, right here, I'm logged in. And then I go into here. I'm just going to show you real quick. Give me a second. Play.Pokemon Showdown. I'm going to log in on my alt account real quick. And then I'll show real quick how it works on the modded client. It's not perfected, but cope. Here. So this is on a different browser. I just logged in on my alt, which you can't see because my camera's over it. And I'm going to go into showdown.casper123.nl. And it's going to prompt me to open a pop-up. What I do is I allow it. I'm going to refresh the page because it needs to know what pop-up it is. And now I get an official Play.Pokemon Showdown API page, right? If you don't trust it, feel free to ask the developers. I've been told by the developers to use this. And then you can authorize my application to give it access to a little bit of information of your account. If it worked, the pop-up will close. Otherwise, you have to wait. It'll try opening a pop-up again in like a bunch of seconds. And then it should have worked. I'm going to go hide my camera real quick. Right here, you can see that I've logged in. And I can go type in chat. Hi, I can type in chat with my account. Now, it's not perfect because I've been scrounging together stuff with their API. But I got it to work mostly. There's a couple things that don't work quite yet. I can't guarantee you can actually log out. I think it might not have a functioning logout request. If that happens, you need to clear your web cookies. And if I actually have it if I have it fixed, then inside of the Discord for this, for which I will be quickly getting a link and posting it in chat, if it allows me to do that, that is. There we go. For anyone who's interested and not in there. Basically, I will post there related to server and website development, like what I've gotten working. You can also follow this information from my main Discord, because I have it's like an announcement chat or a broadcasting chat. Hi Torn, you missed like 90% of all the Pokemon stuff. We're about to actually play the game because Captain wants to show me playing a game against him. All right, Captain, let's fight. Game time. You can actually, if you want, by the way, there public battles are listed over here, so you're always free to just open up the page. If you don't want to play and there's an active battle, you can just spectate. Okay, I've been sent a challenge. There was an interesting team I wanted to try. Where is it? Do I not have it in this? Do I still have it as a file? Give me a second, because I've been saving these to files. One moment. OneDrive. Unfortunately, I've been syncing this through OneDrive. Is it this team? It is. Yeah, no, okay. I indeed did not put that in here. Music goes hard as fuck. Okay, awesome. I need to rename this real quick. Something name here. There we go. Awesome. No stream sniping, Captain. No, don't peep the horror. Hey, Twitch chat. Hi, Captain. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. I left, by the way. That's fair. Thank you. Here, so you guys can see it more easily. So I'm playing against a team that has a Gigalith, which has been buffed to have a way better move pool. And access to Trick Room. Slowbro, which has access to Trick Room. Mega Mawile, which is the Mega Evolution of this team, which will be very strong under Trick Room because it's kind of slow. Excadrill, which is going to apply utility and offensive pressure in and out of sand. Mandibuzz, which I think that's your especially defensive. If I remember correctly, that's a specially defensive Mandibuzz build. And then there's a Hydreigon here, which is a Pokemon that hits kind of hard, but it can hit pretty well in and outside of Trick Room depending on what team you face. Oh, hold on. I need to close this. Wait, no, no, oh, no, there we go. Right. Oh, nice. A burn. I have the in-battle music disabled, by the way, so that's what's cooking right now. So, he uses U-turn, so he's going to switch out. I hope everything is readable on both the screen share and the stream. You can enable a battle timer, but I'm not going to because I'm not a bitch. So this is an Excadrill, which... What, ground type move? Neutral hit? I should outspeed, because Scizor. Scizor hits very hard. I know, if you want me to elaborate on more stuff, by the way, I can talk about more of my thought process. Oh, damn. That's not good. Oh, Diamond Storm. Okay, we're doing this. This is such a Pokemon fight of all time. I know, right? Dude, I fucking love Trick Room. I've just boosted to +6, and I'm going to click moves now. God damn! Okay. So I'm clicking a move. As you can see earlier, like I was slower than the Gigalith in Trick Room, which means I was, or like, outside of Trick Room, so I was faster inside of it. But I'm now clicking a move that has priority. So, basically, most moves have 0 priority. That means that speed, like, every single move with 0 priority goes into the same speed bracket, and then speed is used. But let's say I have Bullet Punch, which is a move with +1 priority. That will actually go before any move with 0 priority. So let's say I have a very slow Pokemon like Metagross, then I can still use a priority move to go before my opponents. Trick Room, for example, a move that Captain used earlier, has -7 priority. That's a move that almost always goes last. Unfortunately for him, I'm +6 attack Metagross. I'm just clicking buttons until it dies. I don't care. And I think that's GG. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty well. FYI, that was a Zoro work. That was a choice spec Zoro work. I thought it'd be nice to share that. Yep, again. Oh, he wants to go again. Okay. Okay, well, we'll do one more game and then we'll do some team building together on stream. Do I have a decent team against this that could be fun to play with? Let's try this. It's a team that can get dismantled by the likes of a Trick Room team quite well, but there's also a lot of counterplay that I have available. So this is a somewhat similar Trick Room setup, but instead of having the Mega Mawile, he's running Mega Ampharos. And then he switched out the Slowbro for I would expect this to be especially defensive Slowking. Though. Okay. And then still the Hydreigon in here, which is specifically there for the King Gambit, so that's kind of a dead Pokemon in this game. Or in this matchup. And I really need to watch out that I keep my Garchomp alive, because otherwise I will die to that Ampharos. I think I'm going to lead with this. Yeah, just give me a moment, man. Like, give me a moment to pick my Pokemon, dang it. Ah, god damn it. Okay, so this is where I think this is where TR comes up. And if that happens, I would want this in. Oh, goddamn! Okay! So we click the button. He's going to be able to heal that off, but I don't care. Magma Storm connects. Nice. Dog went on. Yeah, I know, right? Dog is so awesome. And I think I get to take a kill here while burning 2 turns of Trick Room. Yeah, okay. I think I do get to take a kill here because all you can do is slack off. Oh shit. Should have another turn of Magma Storm. Not my Stealth Rock. I'm so sad about this. And the nice part is I don't have to worry about like finding coverage from Mega Mawile. So Reuniclus comes in here. What, like this does have access? This does have access to Thunder. Like what else would I want to trap with Heatran, right? I think this is like the only thing I would really want to trap with Heatran. So this takes a bunch of damage. It's Life Orb. But I outspeed here. So Heatran's signature move, Magma Storm, basically prevents your opponent from switching the Pokemon out, while also dealing some extra damage over time. You're making me look bad. It's just like I have a like this team just has Heatran, which happens to be very good against your team. Because if you get caught by a Heatran trap, then you're just boned. Like Heatran traps you, and then it's Jover, right? Oh goddamn! You didn't click Swords Dance. Invalid choices, nothing to cancel. Yeah, I guess fair. And Trick Room goes up, but that's fine. Should have clicked Taunt, I think. But I think my Corviknight's just dead now. I don't mind, though. Parabolic, but that doesn't kill, unfortunately. What is the DT Omega? Uprose Mega's 45 base speed. Meanwhile, is it? Kingambit's 50 base speed. Ouch! Oh, that hurts. Oh no! Ooh, got predict clicked. Yikes. So, I predicted he would either switch there or he would stay in, but, use Tail Glow to avoid the Sucker Punch. So then I get to abuse that. Also, do I not just, like, underspeed you in Trick Room? Oh, goddamn. Okay. Oh no, I'm so scared. That Sucker Punch is also a priority move, which is why the Hydreigon is on this team, right? Right? Captain, we built this team over the span of like an hour, and I showed you how good Hydreigon is in the like the Kingambit matchup. Right, there we are. Yes. Okay, so this Hydreigon is going to outspeed and probably flamethrower my guy, which is one of the reasons Hydreigon's good. Oh, that just sucks. that just fucking sucks. Okay. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I'm sorry. That was mean. Fuck you. Dog. Dude, I love using Heatran so much. Nah, GG. Hey, good game though. I'm kind of tempted to build a team or two with you guys. Would you be interested in that? Anyone in chat actually who also wants to participate in team building? Because we're gonna build a new team. Why not? It's fun. We'll see if we can find a gimmick. Have fun with team building. All right, sure thing. Are you gonna go? I will be posting like the good teams of this list in the Discord server later, so you can try them out. So I'll be watching and listening. If you guys want, I can also just post the teams now, and you guys can try it out. I'd be right happy to spectate both of you, because you, Killer and Emily, are both in the stage channel. Can't wait to fight someone that isn't Pokemon autistic. To be fair, I've been playing Pokemon pretty consistently since I was like fucking like in a good way though. Yeah, I'm sorry. The Hydreigon should have probably, if it came out earlier, was I think I was using a Trick Room against you. You need something better against Kingambit, because that Reuniclus is not helping you against Kingambit. Like it was on your team, you have Kingambit trapped in between the speed tier of Mega Mawile and Hydreigon, which is why it's in there, right? And because you needed the defensive utility, I think that version of the team could use a little bit more optimization. Oh, you need something. I think you need something different. But you also know that I have a pretty cracked Mega Ampharos team. And I think most of the core works, but chipping down your own Mega Ampharos with Sandstorm, for example, doesn't really work. I did buff Mega Steelix though. You should take a look at that. I gave it Coil, which is a pretty big deal. It's like bulk up, but it also increases accuracy. So that means after one Coil, Stone Edge can't miss anymore. And considering it has Sand Force, that's pretty good. All right, so let's let me quickly paste some teams inside of the discussion thing. I'm just going to take some of these text files that I have on my computer. They contain, if I screen share, I'm gonna screen share this. Oh, I already am. Okay, they contain basically a team you should be able to copy paste in here. So let's say I copy this, and I go to the client, and I go here, and I do import, and I just paste it in here. It should just work. it's a good idea to also set this and click on the validate button. Be sure to double triple check if you have items, if it has stats, if it has 4 moves. I will be sharing a couple of these files in a second. Do you guys also want to just have access to the microphone? I'm all good with that. I thought it'd be a little busier today, but I'd be right happy to like do a live microphone experiment and quickly go over a couple of the teams that I'll put in that folder. I'll be staying muted for a little bit. All right, let me give me 1 second. Killer. I think I can give you access to. I think I'll stay if you want to. Yeah. Invite to speak. Killer. I think you have to accept the invitation. There we go. Test.
Hello.
Dude, stage channels are so weird, right? You need to go AFK right now.
I gotta go AFK for a minute. I gotta take out the trash and stuff.
Okay. Do you want me to just wait for a little bit?
Nah,
Also, Emily, I'll add you as a speaker too. You could just stay. You could just mute your microphone and unmute whenever you.
Man, these are goofy.
Dude, it's pretty complicated. There's a whole bunch of like really good YouTubers on this, both on singles and doubles. If anything, hold on, let me look this up real quick. I'm going to go show like a really good YouTuber for doubles content. Don't worry, Captain. You're still with us.
He's here in spirit, but we're better.
There is this like he actually won the world champion. There's this YouTuber Wolfie VGC who does like very in-depth content on the competitive doubles scene. And let's just say his videos, like his tournament videos, are like more than movie length. Like there's just a video of 5 hours here, and yes, I did watch it in one sitting. There's a video of 3 hours here, which I also watched in one sitting. There's another nearly 5-hour one, which I also watched in one sitting. And it's really interesting, and honestly, if you like his content, it's going to be a pretty good... Like, he's very good at teaching people how this works. It teaches you to think about Pokemon, but singles is very different than doubles. So if you like his content, tell me, so then I can start working on a doubles format. Because I have actually been buffing Pokemon in preparation for doubles. If we look at Mega Audino, for example, it gets a move called Follow Me, which does nothing in singles. You click it, does nothing. But in doubles, it's ridiculously busted.
I'll be right back.
Alright. Let me get a couple teams into the discussion thing. Let's see. Team builder. Let me put the team that I showed just now in there. That I played, like both the teams that I played against Captain. And then I'll put one of Captain's teams in there as well. There we go. That team is ass. I probably shouldn't share that. Idea for doubles? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm a multi-fan, which means I like multiple things. Dude, I'm a fucking Incineroar. I don't care. I'm going to fake out. That is so real. Well, let me just do this real quick, because otherwise it's kind of boring. Get in here.
I have been freed from the void. Holy moly.
I know, right?
Zoroark is annoying.
It sure is. It sure is a Pokemon. Do you think it'd be mean if I shared the if I shared the stall team with them?
No, I have to like grow out of that phase, so I'm making another team with Mega Celix.
I'd say try something that's not Trick Room.
No, the Celix won't be Mega Trick Room.
You sure? Celix looks like it's like Sand Room, like extraordinaire.
I don't know. You never know.
You could try it. I gave it Coil so it wouldn't boost its own speed, which is on purpose. For those wondering, I have made a change to Steelix, which has a Mega form,
Wait,
such that
isn't
it gets
this
access
just a
to
team that
Coil.
Oh no. This is just a team that counteracts each other. Classic Captain Daredevil. Well, back to the drawing board.
So this is something that it usually doesn't get. Those are pretty good games, though. I mean, it was a little unfortunate that Trick Room, you know, okay, that you let me set up with Metagross.
Yeah, I thought I didn't know what I was thinking. I did not know that Mach Punch was coming out of your ass.
I mean, Bullet Punch. Slightly different move,
Yeah,
but
Bullet
close
Punch.
enough. Well, you didn't. I don't think you've played that much Gen 4, Gen 5 then, because Metagross was like turbo busted then.
Yeah.
Like it having Bullet Punch with a pretty good like base attack stat was kind of its thing.
Well, sorry, I don't spend much of my time with only the Showdown server.
What do you think of the distortion abilities, though? I think they're really cool.
I mean, they are really cool. It's a direct. It's a direct.
Yeah,
Counter.
Giratina shuts down terrain teams, hazard teams, weather teams, and trick room teams. Yes, that's the intention.
And that's why I'm gonna make a team that without weather, trick room.
I mean, if you want to use Giratina, you still need to sacrifice a team slot.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm not done. I'm not done with changing Giratina yet. The Palkia changes are in though. I think Palkia is really cool now.
This has an okay defense stat. Fuck it, let's try it.
I'll try a slightly different set on Shaman. I think Shaman could be a Pokemon that you might find very interesting because it is extremely good against stall teams.
Because Regenerator?
No, because Shaman gets Seed Flare, which has a 40% chance to do -2 special defense.
Aha.
Also, it gets Leech Seed, so you could just stay in on... Well, actually, no. I mean, you can't get Leech Seeded, but you can heal.
I mean,
and yes, it does get Regenerator. It's very funny.
You know what? Thank you for the idea. I'm gonna put it on my team.
You should try Shaman. It does have its weaknesses, of course, because it is a Grass Fairy type, which means it takes 4 times damage from Poison type attacks.
That's weird.
But I think it's very interesting. But yeah, this is like a slightly bulkier offensive team, which has a couple priority users. That's the one with the Scizor.
Regenerator leftovers goes crazy.
I'm using heavy duty boots so I can more freely switch in on rocks. Because not only does it get Seed Flare, type in Light of Ruin.
That exists? What? 140 base power and 90% accuracy.
Yeah, but like you take half the damage dealt.
Yeah.
You should probably use Stealth Rock a little more and like hazards.
Yeah, I noticed that one.
I think a good pairing with Shaman might be Hisui and Samurott.
Hisui and Samurott.
Yes.
Oh.
I think that could be interesting. Keep in mind, you can also use Shaman as a slightly more supportive Pokemon, because instead of Light of Ruin, you can also run Sparkly Swirl, which is like Heal Bell on a fairy type stick.
Quick sneak peek of the new team I'm making. Skeledirge, Kingambit, Shaman.
Skeledirge, Kingambit, Shaman. That could work out, yes.
But hey, you know me, I'll fuck it up eventually.
Why the Skeledirge exactly?
Ever heard of Throat Spray Torch Song?
I mean, yeah, but if you really want to blow something up, why not use Chandelier?
Because Crocodile.
I mean, we did buff Chandelier, and I think it's pretty funny now.
Well, buff Skeledirge then. He's my
I'm not buffing Skeledirge. Skeledirge is good. Skeledirge is really good.
Chat, this guy likes Chandeliers more like crocodiles. Ban him, unfollow him.
Hey, okay, calm down now. I mean, yeah, throats. You're giving up your item for a one-time boost. It
Yeah,
could
but the boost
work.
can go. It can come in handy.
Yeah, that's true, but you're also boosting with Torch Song.
Oh wait, this shit has turbo blaze? Never mind. I'm picking this one. I'm picking Chandelier.
Yeah. Now type in Shadow Flame.
You've got to be fucking kidding me. That's just a ghost type scald.
Yeah, it is Ghost type Skull. It's slightly weaker because Ghost is a really good attacking type, but this is what I
Uh,
mean with like if you like Skeletor is a good unaware mon. It's like more tanky, but if you want a delete button, you take
why
Chandelier
does it have blue flare?
because it's a blue lamp with fire.
It's purple.
Close enough.
This man is colorblind.
Just look for fire type special moves.
Okay, the normal ones. Mind blown. Uh-huh. Yes. Of course, why not?
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
You find everything funny at this point, man. I
Isn't
don't know
it?
what to tell you. Hmm. Huh. Hmm. Why does Searing Shot exist?
It's actually one of Victini's signature moves, but like Victini has like 3 of those. Nobody ever uses this because it's a physical attacker. Because why would you use Searing Shot if you could use V Create?
V create. Yeah.
Is
V
that
create?
180 base power move
Yeah,
or something?
I know V create. You know what would be funny? V create contrary.
No, not doing that ever. Nope, not
uh,
happening.
this man shuts out brilliant ideas. He hates brilliant ideas.
Sure do.
You know what? What should I do? Like curse, I guess.
On Chandelier?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Um. Why not?
I mean, if you it has access to Trick, so you could go Shadow Flame, Blue Flare, Trick, and then maybe let's see, is there a last coverage move, a utility move you can use?
I mean, I can use. I don't really know. Psychic? No.
You could consider Pain Split, because it doesn't have a very high attack stat, or a health stat.
It,
You could consider Taunt as well, or Will-O-Wisp. Or if you
I don't
really
think.
want to be a little hacky, you could consider Trick Room. Not necessarily to build a Trick
Nah,
Room team,
no.
but to have a
This
Pokemon
isn't
that
a
can
trick
reset
room
it.
team.
I
Yeah, but
actually, on one of my teams,
it
I
can
have
be
a
a trick
Pokemon
room
with Trick
stall.
Room simply to shut your Trick Room down.
True, true. Hey, chat. Just always know trick room. Always go to. Hey, ma, I'm famous.
You could also go for Hex, because Blue Flare does have a, not Blue Flare, Shadow Flame and Blue Flare, I think, both have a chance to burn.
Hey, Casper, you keep getting the. You're keeping all the ideas to yourself. Give me some. But actually, do not do that. I want to make this team for myself and eventually fuck it up.
Hey, I mean, you're always free to share it. Like, I'm always down to give feedback. I like team building. I have a team with, what
Oh,
is it?
really? You like team building? Didn't know.
I have a team with a Hisuian Typhlosion with adaptability that runs like Eruption and Shadow Flame. With I think it's Scarf.
Did you buff Hisuian Typhlosion?
Both Typhlosions have been buffed, yes, because they're not very good at singles.
Buff Shuckle. Give that man. I don't know what to give that man.
Body press? Hell no.
Just make sure that little boy gets buffed.
Shuckle is already pretty good. It's the second best sticky web setter. A sticky
Blah,
web
blah,
is
blah, blah.
silly busted.
What do you run on your shaman? Okay, Leech Seed, Light Ruin, Seed Flare, but one last one. Like aromatherapy?
So if you run Seed Flare, I mean, I like Leech Seed because it helps better against stall Pokemon.
What the
And
fuck?
then either Light of
Tailwind.
Ruin or Sparkly Swirl.
Tailwind.
Why would you use Tailwind?
If it isn't a trick room team, then it can
What
definitely
happens if
run.
there's a steel type in front of you?
Um, pretty much die.
You or it? If the dog switches into you, which is quad resistant to both your attacking stabs, what do you do?
Switch out.
You click Earth Power. Next one.
Uh-huh. Oh wait, that shit had earth power.
Yeah.
Wow, this is all information that I didn't know.
This is like you just filter for coverage, and I just happen to know that it has Earth Power. And then yeah,
Darkness. Ooh, baby.
you
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
so you have two
Well,
very potent special attacking wall breakers now.
yeah, sure.
They're medium speed, so you could say like, hey, this team hits hard. I want to make these medium speed Pokemon better. I'm going to look for Sticky Web Pokemon, and then if you want, you can run Shuckle. Araquanid has so far, because I've been testing teams against myself.
I'm doing King Gambit because King Gambit. That's the only reason.
That's fair. I think King Gambit has a pretty decent type matchup here as well.
Decent.
Yeah, I mean, your current weaknesses with just Chandler and Shaman is Flying Ghost Rock, so having King Gambit's gonna help a little bit.
Oh yeah, blunder policy Zapdos. Oh, those were the
Prob-
prime days.
Probably shouldn't go for that.
Yeah, because you exist, I guess.
I mean, turns out that while it's like Zapdos hits hard, sacrificing your item slot just to get a one-time double speed.
Electro Ball.
Yeah, but that peaks at like a power equal to Thunder. So why not click Thunder instead?
Yeah, but Thunder is 70% accurate, and if it isn't 100% accurate, it's 50% accurate.
Well then, just win the dice roll if you want to hit hard with Zapdos.
Okay, you've seen me on multiple times where I've been unlucky.
Let's see. So if I were to add a Mega Pokemon to this, I would like to have something good against probably rocks. Ooh.
Oh shit, Mouse hold as technician.
Oh yeah, I would put Mousehold in this. This would be very funny. It also has Tidy Up, which is it's Dragon
Why
Dance
did they get?
and
Okay,
and the fog.
wait. So if it's population bomb, it's 30 base power, and if you have loaded dice, oh
You don't use
no,
loaded dice.
why not?
Why would you use loaded dice?
So
Population
so
bomb
you
hits up to 10 times. What you use is you use scope lens.
no it has a
Not
chance
scope
that
lens, the
is it loaded dice? Is population bomb always hits 10 times or?
No, you want to have the item that increases accuracy slightly. Where is it?
Oh, that.
Because it rolls for
Uh,
accuracy on each hit. So, where is it?
oh, really? Oh, I didn't know.
Yes, then there is an item. I don't remember the
I think I'll
name.
take. No.
See, instance.
Okay. Let me get my very small brain and ask
Wide
where the
lens.
item is. Hmm.
Dark type moves. Oh, there's access to crunch. That's not too bad, actually.
Not. No, not that one.
Where is it?
Wide lens. There
Yeah,
you go.
wide lens is a really good item on that.
Yeah, 1.1 is kind of crazy. Oh yeah. Clears all substitutes and hazards. Crazy.
Yeah, like Mousehold is like one of those Pokemons I've been sleeping on. It hits so hard though, and I think you want to run Crunch as like your non-normal type. I think Tidy Up Population Bomb Crunch Encore is really good.
And what? What's the last
Encore.
one? Encore. Okay, I'm going to say I'm gonna keep one Pokemon a secret because I know you're just gonna. Because if this information is released to the public, they will
They will know.
they will know.
Those who know.
If hate was this inscribed on every blood vessel, every millimeter of my blood vessel, it would
Hate.
not
Let me
even
tell you how
compare.
much I've grown to hate. The temptation to use Mega Absol is really strong.
See, people use Mega Garchomp because they're cool. People use Mega Absol is because they can't win without Mega Absol.
What do you mean? It's not even that good. It's very frail.
I will put up. I am. I'm literally giving you the finger, right now
Don't.
in real life.
What moves does this have?
I'm only using this priority, not even priority move, this stat boosting move, just because if there's an off chance they'll switch, then a big kaboom. Okay, I think I have a pretty good team. Okay, time to sleep on it and only use the trick room team.
Oh, that's so real.
I am stupid and dumb at the same time, which makes no sense because I'm that dumb.
Oh, why is that?
What the fuck is singing outside?
Alright, I think this could work. Oh, oops.
Okay.
What's this look? Oh, Shaman looks so cute.
Yeah, until it like, entirely destroys your team.
Yeah, but we don't think about that.
Mm-hmm. 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 Sure. Mm-hmm.
What?
This never failed me. Just for the off chance, I'm just gonna put. I'm gonna make sure. I am not making sure. What am I telling myself? Hmm.
Okay, I need to know something real quick.
Why do I have? Why do I have Aqua Cutter? Razor Shell is better. It's a cutting move, right?
Razor Shell? Yeah, I think so. I need to double check if it's boosted by sharpness. I know what your last Pokemon is because you just revealed it.
Huh? Oh no. I'm not using Araquanid or Omega Absol.
No, you're building around Hisui and Samurott because they had a sharpness and Razor Shell.
Yeah, but I said only 5 Pokemon until now, even with the Hisui and Samurott. There's still one Pokemon remaining.
Let me take a quick look for sharpness for you. Boost the power of slicing moves. Aqua Cutter is buffed.
Yeah,
Razor Shell is
yeah,
also
Razor
buffed.
Shell.
Okay.
Yippee.
All right.
It would be funny if I used Brick Break on Aurora Veil.
I mean, sure. Welcome back, Killer. Also, Emily, are you still here? I see a message appear, so I take that as a yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I
Okay,
am
cool.
good. Oh, it doesn't have an item.
If you
Yabadi Yabadoo.
if you look at the
Life
discussion
Orb.
channel for National Dex Custom, I posted a bunch of teams in there. Do you want me to quickly go over each team and like say a little bit how they work?
Sure.
Because then you could try importing them if you want to try playing against each other with it. Only if you want to, though. I'm not gonna force you.
I probably won't play today, but
Casper,
eventually, perhaps.
You sure not?
Casper is the most wholesome person to everyday things, but the moment you start a fight with him, he becomes the most ruthless bastard to ever exist.
Yeah, with the amount of just fuck you energy afterwards every time you fight him, yeah, I could assume that.
I think
The
explaining
people
the
are
teams
with
would be
me.
peak. Okay, then we'll just quickly go through. We'll go through some of these teams on stream then as well.
Oh,
Time to
give the
understand
poke.
literally nothing again. Wahoo.
Trust it makes sense after like 2 years.
Man, you assume I'm gonna be sticking with this for 2 years.
Let's start with something simple. This team that I used earlier, right? It's called Fast as Fuck. That should probably
I hate
indicate.
Mega Man Electric. I hate Mega Man Electric. I hate Mega
Dude,
Man
what do
Electric.
you
I
not
hate
hate?
Mega Man Electric. The okay, I don't hate Latios, I don't hate Corviknight, I don't hate Garchomp, I hate Heatran. But
Dog.
oh my god. the, it's just I do not expect Ice Beam from an electric type.
To be fair, it always ran hidden power ice. Like, it always has.
Okay, but
It also always runs flamethrower or overheat.
Casper, I have not long since joined the competitive world, and trust me when I tell this, the more I know, the okay, how does this go again? The more I learn is the more I know. Okay, brain resetting, BRB.
So the idea of the team is pretty simple, right? We have a bunch of very fast Pokemon that hit pretty hard. Something important you should know is that choice items, choice scarf, choice specs, and choice band, they basically say, okay, I boost a given stat by 50%, and then after using the first move, I cannot switch moves again until I've switched out and back in, or the item's removed. So choice specs makes you hit harder with special attack, and choice scarf makes you faster. So I have two very fast, strong, offensive dragon types. And then I have a very fast Mega Pokemon that also hits very hard. And what's important about Mega Man Electric is that it gets access to Volt Switch. So it's very fast, it clicks Volt Switch. If the target isn't immune, then it hits for 70 base power, and then it switches out. So it's back into safety. And what we see with the rest of the team here is that we have actually pretty tanky Pokemon to allow it to switch in and out. And same goes for Garchomp and Latios. One thing we see here, however, is that these are both dragon types. And dragons don't have a very good matchup against fairies, because, dragon doesn't do any damage to fairy. So they can't use their same type attack bonus moves. So you can't hit them with dragon moves, which would be stronger. And then they're choice locked, so then they're fucked. And fairies hit dragon back for super effective. So the idea is, well, fairy's weak to steel, the rest of the team is steel. Okay, this doesn't have any steel type attacking moves. This is just here to stonewall something that wants to attack you physically. You click iron defense, it doubles your defense, and then you click body press to deal some damage back. You stop them from setting up with taunt, and then if you need to heal up, you can heal with roost. That's what Corviknight does on this team. It's a prick.
It sure is.
Dog, however, is based like that. Dog has a quad ground weakness, but fortunately we have Corviknight, which is flying, and Latios, who is levitate, so is immune to ground. Dog clicks Magma Storm, and when it hits, the target cannot switch out for 4 to 5 turns. And takes a good bit of damage. It isn't perfectly accurate, but that's fine. And then, if you really want to delete a fairy, you click Steelium Z Flash Cannon and then poof. Though, to be fair, if you really wanted a better hit than Flash Cannon, you could go for Steel Beam, which has higher base power. I probably should be doing that, but also... No, I should just be doing that, actually. Anyway, Doug is here to be a prick. Is there an annoying, bulky Pokemon in front of you? Then you click Magma Storm with Doug and bulky Pokemon fall over. Cool. We can get the killing with Garchomp again. And basically what King Gambit does is this is a utility Pokemon. It's quite bulky. And for every single teammate that has died, it gets 10% more power in its moves. And then Pursuit, basically, what it does is, you can see it's kind of weak. But if you click Pursuit and the opponent tries to switch out, its power doubles and it actually hits them before they leave the battlefield.
The amount of times I've
Been
died.
Pursuit trapped? Yes.
Yeah.
Dark weak Pokemon in a meta with Pursuit King Gambit, or just Pursuit Weavile or some other Pokemon with Stab Pursuit. Like, dark weak Pokemon are not having a good time. Ghost types are not cooking. Knockoff is really nice because it hits like a fucking truck and removes the opponent's item. Sucker Punch, I don't know if you saw earlier, but it has priority. So if the opponent attacks me, I attack them first. And well, let's just say King Gambit hits kind of hard. And then lastly, you use like Iron Head or Low Kick or maybe a boosting move as a third option. I use Low Kick because it's good against other King Gambit. If you don't have Low Kick, then other King Gambits will beat you. But this guy is just like a nice toolkit. He is very good for forcing opponents out. A very specific speed investment to beat a couple of the Mega Pokemon, to be able to hit them very hard with Low Kick.
Look at the speed investment. Oh, 84. Okay.
And if you really wanted to fuck with the defensive Pokemon, Latios has the choice items, right? So if you click a move, then you must keep clicking that move. So what if we give the choice item to a defensive Pokemon that wants to click different utility moves, like healing moves and damaging moves and status moves? Oh, no, they can't, because they're choice locked. So you can just, if you don't want the choice specs and instead want to delete their tanky Pokemon, you can do that. Because while they're still alive, they're practically useless now. So the idea is that you apply a lot of offensive pressure, and then you have a good amount of defensive pressure, and basically the main weaknesses of your team are eliminated by Dog.
I'm gonna go now. Have a really nice last day of your night.
Okay, bye-bye. If you guys want to play maybe like tomorrow or something, I'd be right happy to. Because like I was just going to say, like, if you guys play against each other, I will backseat a little bit and help with the thought process. But this is fast as fuck. It's one of my favorite teams. I really like this combination of 3 Pokemon. And I used to play this in Gen 8 national decks like a while ago. Like a long while ago. And I haven't actually played on official servers for a while. But this is like one of those like easier to play teams, because you tend to just click a good button. And if the opponent is able to punish you with a good switch, then you punish them back. And as you could see, even while my team is very fast, I'm still very much able to dismantle Trick Room teams, which Captain has managed to prove that Trick Room is actually really good in singles if it lasts for 6 turns. Let's see. Talking about Trick Room, here's a Trick Room team. So every Pokemon on a Trick Room team kind of wants to be slow. I should really make this 0. But the idea is we have 2 mons with Trick Room in versus the speed order, and then we have a couple mons that hit very hard in Trick Room. Conkeldurr hits silly hard in Trick Room because it... What? That is a very, very large number. Big number. Okay, it's slightly modded. Basically, Conkeldurr got power crept. So I buffed it slightly. Hold on, let me get it real quick. So, Conkeldurr, this is what it usually looks like. So it got 20 extra points in attack. Huge buff. But it has so many things that Iron Hands doesn't. Iron Hands is so unbelievably good. And I wanted to give Conkeldurr a niche. And they both are very different still. There are teams that you would definitely like Iron Hands more than Conkeldurr. But I really wanted to play with Conkeldurr because it hits slightly harder. Hi Knuckles. Hold on, let me let you in as well. I'm showing them how a couple of my teams work.
Interesting.
So, as I said, we have this Trick Room team. It has Conkeldurr as physical attacker. It's actually able to heal itself back up past the Life Orb recoil, because what Life Orb does is it gives you 30% extra damage, but takes 10% of your health every attack. But, you know, if we just, like, punch very hard, that's a lot of health.
Yeah.
And then Mega Ampharos is one of the most buffed Pokemon that we have.
What the fuck is that special attack? Jesus Christ almighty.
I didn't buff that. That's normal. I didn't touch his stats. All I did was give it better moves.
Oh god.
And it turns out it's pretty good with a moveset like this. So the idea with the Mega Ampharos is you somehow get it in Trick Room, and the opponent has to, like, you get a turn to click Tail Glow. So you can see this bar pretty big. 165, very large number for an attacking stat.
Yeah.
Let's multiply it by 2.5. Tail Glow
Yikes.
does that. And then it doesn't matter if you're using a weak move like Parabolic Charge. Anything that isn't resistant to it will get 2-tapped. And you'll be healing. Even outside of Trick Room, Thunderclap allows you to attack before the opponent if they try to attack you. It's a priority move. And then if you want very good neutral damage, Draco Meteor is right there for the taking. Though, I'll admit, Draco Meteor so far has been the worst move of this moveset. Mega Ampharos is one of the key pieces of a Trick Room team. Though Mega Mawile has been outperforming it mostly because of its better typing. And Mega Steelix, I think, could put up a pretty decent fight too. But yeah, that's the idea. Then we have another defensive Pokemon. But here, instead of Corviknight, I have Skarmory, because Skarmory gets access to Stealth Rock, which is a move I want. And then Slowking, because Skarmory is physically defensive, so I need something specially defensive, gets Trick Room. And then if it lives another attack, I can teleport safely into my Mega Ampharos or my Conkeldurr. And Hatterene is actually simultaneously a special attacking Pokemon, as well as a utility Pokemon that can set Trick Room. So I have Trick Room on this Pokemon, but as you can see, it has special attack investment. So it's made to hit extra hard. And then it also has Magic Bounce, which means that it can block opposing status moves and bounce them back. This is a really good ability. If an opponent clicks Stealth Rock while Hatterene is on the field, they put Stealth Rock on themselves. If they click Taunt, which is a move that prevents you from using status moves for 3 turns, I think. Instead, they taunt themselves. It is really good. So this Pokemon is like right in between an offensive and a defensive Pokemon. The main issue with this team is that you only have 2 Trick Room setters and one of them's kind of frail. So you aim to burn through the opponent a lot faster than the teams that Captain was using earlier. Because it's way easier to get punished and like lose Pokemon when you're using this. Because Hatterene like usually gets 2-tapped. It's decently bulky. Like it has good defenses. And if you invest into its HP, it's pretty decent too. But that doesn't really, help if you're still dying in 2 hits. So this team is like, okay, fast teams are frail. We're going to inverse the speed order, and then we hit them very hard. And if we don't have speed control, then we still have priority on all of these Pokemon. Mach Punch is priority, Sucker Punch is priority, and Thunderclap is priority. And they hit very hard. However, there is a team style that just kind of doesn't care. Welcome to a stall team. Knuckles, you know what stall teams are, right?
Yes.
Yes. As you can see here,
defense. Yes.
You play extremely defensively. Hey, Zealots, how you doing? We're talking about Pokemon Showdown. I have two friends here in voice chat. They're not really talking, but that's fine. I have two friends here in voice chat, and I'm basically going through how Pokemon works. And currently, we're at the how does the team work stage. So I'm showing a couple different team archetypes and their ideas. So here I have a stall team that aims to basically outlast the Pokemon. You can see here I'm running Toxic and Scald, which are both moves that apply damage over time status effects. Same here is for Leech Seed, that also applies as damage over time status effect. Here we can see Will-O-Wisp and Toxic does the exact same thing. A lot of damage over time. And then a lot of healing and like a lot of defense. A Trick Room team can hit very hard, but you can outlive it. I've had to teach many family members or friends as well. That's awesome. I've been modding my own Showdown server. So this is not actually official. I don't think you have ever seen Unaware Deoxys Defense.
Unaware is such a funny ability.
Oh, yeah.
Like how you use Tail Glow? Nah,
Nope.
you didn't. Nope.
No, you didn't. So if you ever want to play this, Zealots, I have a Discord server about this. I've been spending a lot of time modding it. If you want to show me like if you want me to show you my proudest creations, because I don't think you've seen what I've done to the creation trio, Knuckles.
Oh God.
Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina. I've been cooking.
What have you cooked?
I've never done Showdown modding
that-
or anything,
that
but I used to play
fucking
competitive Showdown. I haven't done for a few years.
Right?
Sorry, what did you say, Knuckles?
You gave him like a fucking Chronostasis ability, didn't you? Or
Yeah, I've been doing very wacky stuff with them. Yeah, if you ever want to play it, like, for funsies, Zealots, I'd be right happy to. The website is up if you want to reach it. It's like showdown.casper11.23.nl. Like, it should just load up. It might take a moment. And if you're logged in on the official website, then you can log in on mine as well. I'm down to check it out. Give me 1 second. I should have... There's a Discord link. Like, this is the server for Showdown. But you can also follow stuff... You can also follow stuff from, like, my main Discord. It's also linked there. I use Discord to also have, like, forum channels for proposing changes. I've just been making changes on my own, because whenever I posted one, people wouldn't really give any feedback. And so far, they've looked fine. Okay, I'm going to show both of you real quick something really awesome, but I'm going to have to quickly open up another page. Give me 1 second. Because I've shown this earlier on stream. And I think this is cool. You need to see this. Okay. Give me 1 moment. I think the last challenge ROM I did was Radical Red. I haven't done that many challenge ROMs, but I do definitely enjoy Radical Red. Like, I haven't played it, but I do like seeing it. Like a year ago. I've been tempted to play it on stream, actually. Alright, give me 1 second. I need to show you something. I've been wanting to mod Scarlet and Violet. I mean, I just decided to click on this, right? But I'm not that techie for Switch stuff. I've just decided to instead mod this because it's way easier. So let me just like get something real quick. It doesn't really need to do anything. Here we go, good enough. Switch modding is scary. That's why I don't do it. Also because I don't have a Switch to mod. Ah, fuck, yeah. So I forgot to add an extra Pokemon on the team. But you can do that. This is something you can do. Unpatched Switch, I just don't have or know well enough to do it. We have a Switch at home, but I'm not going to touch my sister's Switch. Anyways, as you can see here, I was too stupid to put an extra Pokemon on the team. That Heatran doesn't exist. If I just knock this off, then I win. That should knock off through the Focus Sash. No, it doesn't. The Heatran doesn't actually exist. That was just the Zoroark. You can hide Zoroarks in Team Preview on the server, which I think is awesome. And then to actually show off like some of the other abilities I have, I'm going to quickly grab. Okay, Knuckles, I'm gonna show this to you, and at the same time to Zealots. So I was like, I want to change the creation trio because I think they're cool. And right. To do so, let's start with Dialga. I gave each one of them like a unique new hidden ability. Chronal Distortion's cool because it makes moves hit twice somewhat. I'm just gonna go get a flash cannon out here and a bulk up just to show it off real quick. I'm going to quickly grab this and paste it on my other account here. I just don't think I can do it myself. It's to a point I'm looking for someone who can do it. I'll just send them my unpatched and send it back. That's kind of real. Yeah, let me show you Chronal Distortion. So if Dialga enters the battlefield, he just starts time stuff. And if I click Flash Cannon right now, then you can see that it doesn't do a lot of damage, which makes sense. And then here, a message reads. I haven't fixed this yet. I'll fix it sometime in the future. You can see Flash Cannon appears next to the Pokemon, and it's scattered through time. So the idea is, if I just click Bulk Up twice now, then another Flash Cannon will hit for half this damage in, like, after this Bulk Up. Close to half. And it does this with most attacking moves. But it's hard to find someone trustworthy to even attempt that. Yeah, that's fair. I would personally just much rather get a Steam Deck and emulate on it. But this is the. If we were to switch out this effect, like if both would switch out, this effect would disappear because it's like a primordial weather effect. So I'm going to close this now. And then I'm going to quickly show Palkia too. Palkia is a little simpler. But then a secondary attack with half. Okay, so the first attack does 80% damage. So you do less damage up front. And then in 2 turns it will hit again for 40% damage. So then total you have 120%. And each move can roll for their secondary effects again. Oh yeah, and it does take into account the stat boosts as well. So if you cast it with +2, the second hit will also hit for 40% with +2. Palkia distorts space. This is very simple. When it switches in, or when the effect activates, it sets gravity. And then when the effect, like when no Palkia is there to keep it up, it stays around for 2 turns. And then it switches off. So it's somewhat a primordial pseudo-weather, but also not really, because it lasts for a little bit. I can't make it last for too long, because in those 2 turns you do have time to, for example, bring in a... Let's say you're playing Ubers, you would have time to bring in Groudon, and then there's no ground immunities. The idea is that it synergizes with that. It gives you more accuracy, too, so Spatial Rend is changed, and it gets access to Origin Pulse now as well. Dialga's Roar of Time is also changed. It's not a recharge move anymore. It's a little bit like Gigaton Hammer from the recent generations. And then the most extreme of all of them is Giratina, Absolute Distortion. What Giratina does is it just takes everything into the distortion world. It removes all field effects and hazards, and then if you want to reset them while it's on the field, it just says no. It can reset them, but you can't unless you have Absolute Distortion as an ability. So he just brings you into his domain, and he keeps you as a pet. Which, for our format, is actually very fair, because if you want to use an Uber on a team, you need to sacrifice 1 team slot. So here you can see I have a Rain team without Kyogre, and I have a Rain team with Kyogre a little further down below. Yeah. Combined. It also, if you're using it in Ubers, it also removes terrain, and it removes primordial weather. This overpowers Primal Kyogre. It overpowers Primordial Sea, Desolate Land, and Delta Stream. Or it should, because this is something I added to the server like 2-3 hours ago, and I have yet to thoroughly test it. But that's fine. It'll be fine. We test in production here. Oh. But yeah, I really wanted to do something for these 3. What would it be doing? So it's a 2-way defog and weather, kind of. Yes. To keep in mind, but I can't think of it. Yeah, but what would it do? Like, what kind of direction does it go into? Also, I changed the Rotom forms. I've been cooking with the Rotom forms as well. Base Rotom just got a speed increase. This because it's the only Ghost Electric type, and I wanted to be able to, click Volt Switch before it had to leave the field. There's a whole changelog available here, if you want to read it. It's missing 2 things, but I'll be updating that soon. How would that affect Trick Room? Trick Room is a pseudo-weather effect. It gets removed. It directly counters Trick Room as well. Giratina just nuh-uh. Yeah, which is a good thing to have a consistent defensive Pokemon be able to say nuh-uh to Trick Room, considering Trick Room is actually good on this server, because in singles it lasts for 6 turns instead of 5. It lasts 1 turn longer, and that's proven to be, like, really good. The Rotom forms, like, get a couple extra moves. Rotom Fan, I think, is really funny because I give it Airlock. Rotom Frost is actually, like, really good now on Snow teams, because Snow makes it, like, really good. Slush Rush on Rotom Frost makes it like one of the peak special attackers. Because I've given it access to a couple more Ice type moves. None of them Ice Beam. But they make sense for being a haunted freezer. It originally gets Blizzard, so I gave it Freeze Dry, Glaciate, and Icy Wind. Because that would be fitting. As for what I did with Snow itself, because the default effect is 1.5 times defense. But I also made it... I also gave it a 1.2 times Ice Stab damage multiplier. So if you're an Ice type and you click an Ice type move, it does 20% more damage. And you either are 20% faster or slower depending on Trick Room if you're an Ice type. But I have not been able to get that to actually show in the battle itself. Going to need to fix that. But I'll do that eventually. I was like, oh, Rotom has kind of fallen off as of late. So let's take a look at Rotom Heat, for example. If we look at its fire moves, it now has access to Heat Wave as well as Fire Pledge and Inferno. Because I think I gave the Rotom Fire Water Grass the Pledge moves. Because for doubles, I really want them to be a little better. And I think giving one set of Mons outside of the starters Pledge moves could be really interesting. All your changes seem cool. I think so too. I mean, Mega Ampharos is now really good. It's really, really good because it gets Tail Glow, it gets Draco Meteor, it gets Thunderclap, and it gets Parabolic Charge, and that's just a really good moveset. But it's like mostly good in Trick Room.
Hey Casper, I just put a team I just cooked up in the Discord.
Ooh, sure, I'll take a look. I immediately see Samurati Hisui. I like this. Yeah, also, Zealots, if you join the Discord, I don't know if you're much of a Discord person, but if you join the Discord, I'm gonna go show real quick. We actually have like an entire forum channel where we do like polled stuff, like polled changes. It's not been super interactive so far, but TLDR, we've been like especially at the early stages before I went like and did most of the things myself. I've just like been making changes on my own now, but we would put proposals in here and we could discuss about them. So for example, we had one at one point that got rejected, which was giving Ice a water resist. People didn't quite like that one.
I know, I like it. I think it would make sense.
Hey, at least Fairy's resistance to bug is gone. That's been for a little while.
About damn time.
Yeah, I really just wanted to cook. I wanted to think around. And I've been learning some web development through this, so that's cool. Okay, let's take a look at your team, Knuckles. Because I've been playing on my own server for a little bit. Ooh, I like this. You're using a fucking Rage Rattata?
Yes.
You do know that people are just going to... Wait, does that not have an ability listed? Give me a second. Team building?
Did I have a fucking ability?
Yeah, you didn't select abilities for Rattata or Tapu Lele. It has guts, I guess. It doesn't matter. You also didn't give an item to Tapu Lele.
That's probably gonna be like either
Aqua Cutter, Air Slash, Ceaseless Edge, Sword Stance. I would get rid of both Aqua Cutter and Air Slash. You kind of want to run. You want to run Razor Shell instead. Something I always did and used Showdown for was making funny Pixelmon gym leader teams and general battle teams I like to use. Nothing to comp, but more so fun. Then you would really like our server, because it's mostly like people that are new that are starting to hopefully get into it. Pleading face. Maybe Emily and Killer will start joining us. Hooray! Maybe. I would really like that, because I bought a Raspberry Pi to be able to host the website, and I've been really enjoying this project. Yeah, I would definitely get rid of Aqua Cutter for Razor Shell, because Razor Shell is just strictly better. Air Slash does not really make sense on a Sword Dance set. What do you want the Air Slash for?
Let me see.
You could take Flip Turn. You could take Knockoff instead. You could take Mega Horn if you really want something against grass types. It has Sacred Sword. It has Sucker Punch.
I mean, Sacred Sword would probably be pretty alright.
I can give you an example of a fighting type team I used to make. Sure thing, I'll take a look at it. The idea of Tapu Lele is to have the Psychic Surge protect against what exactly? Because you have Bullet Punch, a priority move, as well as Quick Attack, a priority move, with a Tapu Lele on the team, which says no against priority moves. This was you right now. I'm gonna give it a try though. Yay! Yippee! Yeah, that was indeed me. That was indeed me right then.
I mean, I didn't really.
Tapu Lele has drastic anti-synergy with half your team.
Yeah.
It's a good Pokemon, but
I mean, I could take a Dracovish.
I know you can't, because then you have to delete 2 Pokemon.
Wait,
it's an Uber. I think it's really cool that you can say, okay, an Uber takes up 2 team slots. Yes, Zealots, you may use Ubers if you want. You just need a team of 5 Pokemon. This is valid for our format. If I add one more Pokemon to it, I need to give it like at least a move and an Eevee. Then it's going to cry about having too many Pokemon. I was leader in a which was surprisingly only got beat every few times, which you'll see. It's hard to beat, but it's funny. Okay, sure thing, send it through. I'd love to see.
Well, I think I know what I want to put
else?
on. Escalador.
You could consider, instead of Life Orb on the Kartana. Okay, you want to do a Swords Dance set with Kartana, I see.
Yeah.
Why are you running Giga Drain?
To negate a bit of the Life Orb damage.
No, you don't. Why are you running X Scissor?
Coverage.
For what?
Good fucking question, actually. Hold up.
Giga Drain goes because you are sacrificing a move slot that could use your 181 base attack stat for something that's going to do 3 damage with your not even 60 special attack. So that goes. If you really want a grass type move, you can go for Leaf Blade, which is okay. I think X Scissor just goes for Sacred Sword. If you want to hit hard without Life Orb, like you're running Swords Dance, so you really need Life Orb. You don't need a light to do this thing hit so hard. You don't need a Life Orb boost. I'm gonna show you something very goofy, right?
Right.
You know how normal hits practically everything in the game for neutral damage?
Yeah.
Normalium Z Giga Impact instead of Smart Strike.
That is in fact interesting.
And this is a really good moveset. I would like using this. And now you actually have a Z-move user. This can't get knocked off, which is also really nice. I like the Samurott set if you replace like Air Slash with like knockoff or something. I mean, I tend to use Samurott with like Assault Vest because Ceaseless Edge is really good, so having a little bit more bulk to click things is nice. Or like Expert Belt, because turns out Water Dark is a really good offensive stab typing. Swords Dance, Toxics, X Scissor, Earthquake. Gliscor. What is the Gliscor's role on the team? Is it offensive or defensive?
A bit of both. It's there to be a bit tanky, throw on a toxic, stall out a bit, but still be able to do a decent amount of damage.
Wouldn't you much rather have a Pokemon that can click Toxic and also click Body Press, so you can actually like heavily invest into defense?
Nah.
I mean, I would at least get rid of the X-Scissor. I don't see a point in X-Scissor.
Fair.
Let's see. So what kind of physical moves does Gliscor get? It gets Brick Break. It gets Crab Hammer. That's not actually that bad. Dual Wing Beat. Gunk Shot. I used Breloom, Toxicroak, Hitmonlee, Poliwrath, Zero Aura as a wild card. And as a wild card, Shiftry. Okay, that's cool. Does it get Knockoff? It gets Knockoff. You probably should be considering using Knockoff instead of X-Scissor.
Yeah.
Scissor,
Good point.
Bug Bite, Bullet Punch, Swords Dance, Wing Attack. Doesn't this get better Bug Stab? It gets X-Scissor, it gets U-Turn if you really want to use Bug Stab. But for nowadays version, I'd put in Annihilate somewhere. That's kind of mean. That Pokemon's good. I like Annihilate, it's just a little too strong. I like your team, though. I think it's a really cool combination. Especially the Shiftry being a Dark type, the only immunity to... Like, giving a good immunity to Psychic moves. And then the Zero Aura, I guess, is a resistance to flying. I think it's a cool team, though. As for Scizor, I think you should include Close Combat. I think Close Combat and Knockoff instead of Wing Attack would help a lot. Because Bug Stab is just like kind of useless. Right? It's not that good.
Right.
So, if I can hit for twice as hard, then I would like to do that. Simultaneously, this is really good coverage against the Steel types that kind of stonewall my Bullet Punch and my Stab types.
Yeah.
That's the main version. In other versions, I put in Ceruledge or Blaziken or Infernape for other subs. Very cool options. Gliscor is just evil. My favorite Gliscor set is a Substitute Toxic set.
Now that does sound evil.
Yes, because you can't hit it and it's just going to click Toxic. It immediately loses against Corviknight, but that's not important.
Details. Hold up.
Yes, because if it's a
I have
non-grounded...
a plan now.
Yeah, that's what mine was.
You have given me a plan. What if I'm gonna give it Substitute, Toxic Spikes, and Knockoff?
What I would do as a move, if you want to do Subtoxic, Substitute, Roost, Toxic, Earthquake, so you can at least still do something against Steel types that are grounded. Right?
Right.
And you get so much health back from Toxic Orb and from Roost that you're able to keep Substitute up for like a long while.
Yeah.
Was that? Yeah, this is such an evil set, dude. I remember this being meta in Gen 5. Oh my god, that was disgusting. Oh. Became one of my favorite Pokemon. Because it just whittles... It whittles certain Pokemon just down so well. But unfortunately, offensive power creep has made... Okay, Gliscor is still ridiculous, but it's made it slightly less universal. Because I think a good special attacker could burst through this. I've buffed Toxicroak slightly recently.
Oh.
But the issue is
I am
they are
very
mostly
happy
sweepers.
about that.
Yeah. Yeah, Toxicroak has gotten a slight buff. It's a Gen 4 Pokemon. Let me find it real quick. It's got a slight increase in its stats, and it gets access to Jet Punch, Liquidation, Mach Punch, and U-Turn now.
Yes.
Which would make it slightly better as, weirdly enough, a Rain Team member. The idea was it has dry skin. It's a frog.
Yep.
It likes being in the rain, likes being wet. So we're going to give it a couple decent water-type moves to synergize with Rain a little bit more.
Not gonna lie, like, Toxicroak is also one of my favorite Pokemon.
I always wanted to Rain Team with it. Yeah, you can definitely do that now. It won't be like the best, but it'll be like a wild card. You genuinely made it valid. I'm still very happy with my Empoleon changes. Like, I just gave it slightly more bulk, and then I gave it Slush Rush. Because it's a penguin, so like, you know, Slush Rush. And then it gets access to screens, and it can set up Aurora Veil. And it's actually really good now that it has, not the best. I've actually been using it. It can tank. It can, if you invest it either physically or specially, it can tank pretty well. Because turns out Water Seal is just a good typing.
So, Casper, do you feel like going for a bit of a battle?
I mean, I'm down to fight if you want.
Hell yeah.
I kind of need to make a team with Unova and Darmanitan because I gave it Guerrilla Tactics.
Oh god.
I fucking love Guerrilla Tactics, dude. That shit is the best. It's so funny. Are you logged in on the client right now? Because I don't see you.
I am.
Gonna refresh my page then. Still don't see you. Need to rejoin the lobby. You need to rejoin the lobby. If you ever want another general comp player ideas, because I got you, because changes are all very similar to what I do. Yeah, dude. I do bet we could cook some dank shit. Hell yeah. If you want to, you can just add me on Discord. One moment. Did you challenge me to the right format?
Yes. National Dex Custom.
Give me 1 second. I forgot to EV these mons. Okay. What's wrong with this? Did I fix this? Okay. Why does it still say that this move doesn't exist in the national dex? I thought I fixed this. I want this move.
Turns out you
give me a
did not
moment.
fix it.
And I thought I did though. Or is it? Is non-standard undefined? I gave it the exact same treatment as the other ones. Well, then I guess I have to just change the move. There we go. This should work, hopefully. Right, I need to EV Arachne. Give me 1 second, I need to copy-paste the Pokemon real quick.
That's perfect, actually.
Let me challenge you. I need to fix my team. Yeah, my Discord is just this, and otherwise you can also join the server.
Hmm.
Uh-oh.
Sheet.
What
That's goodbye, Skeletor.
are you clicking? What are you clicking?
Don't worry about it.
God damn it. Oh, hi, Trindio. Oh! You still running Giga Drain? Come on, man.
That did not do jack motherfucking shit.
You think? Thanks for the 5-bit. Sent? Yeah, hold on. Give me a second. Do you want me to DM you an invite to the server, Zealots, or no? I should have accepted it. I'm gonna give you a... No Toxicroak for you. Sure? Okay, I'll send you an invite to this Showdown server, and in case you want it, I'll also give you an invite to my main server.
Bitch.
Oh no.
Anyway.
So what's gonna happen now? I'm sorry, man.
Yikers.
That was very unfortunate. It's a little mean for me to play sticky webs, though. I'll admit it.
It's a fucking sweeping team, alright. I have high speed across the fucking board.
I mean, you have a priority user in Scizor, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, he's doing Samurott, huh? Darn. Well, what now?
Oh no! Yikers!
I mean, to be fair, this is 115 base speed.
Retreat. Nope.
Fire! Fire! Fire!
It was fun knowing y'all.
Fire!
We have anything?
Fire! Toxic? I'm sorry. I'm just gonna click the button. Fire!
That team. That motherfucking team.
This was a bit mean, huh?
It had me all forms of fucked up.
I'll play something else. I'll play something that's like mid. Here you go.
That's what I thought was gonna happen.
Oh no. Did you go down to Sash immediately? Okay. I don't know why that's so funny to me.
Bleed.
Dude, I love Rocky Helmet. I don't think Rage Rattata is that good, I'm not gonna lie.
I mean...
You should try Aron instead, because then you can run Shell Bell.
I mean, your Regieleki is not gonna be looking.
I mean, I don't care though. That thing is like the worst Pokemon on this team. Rocky helmet.
Bitch. Bitch.
Bitch. I click pivot move.
What is this team?
I click pivot move. You asked what this team is. Oh, I was just showing you the rounds, man. I'm sorry. Hmm.
Uh-oh. That doesn't matter. Don't matter. Okay, you're gonna outspeed. And you're doing a lot of damage.
I love clicking buttons. Is that the best plan? I don't care. Ooh, yikes.
Ooh, beast boost. It's like a fucking trap.
Sure does. I'm a steel type. What are you? I'm sorry, but what are you doing?
Well, this is gonna go very fucking bad.
Yeah, that didn't go to plan, did it?
Oh, I leave. I will not leave for much longer.
Oh, you're running live orb on that. I'm sorry. Am I playing mean?
Mayhaps you are.
Do you want to try one more time? I'll like use 3 random shitmons glued together with the Ferrothorn.
Hold up. Shit, that breaks my fucking...
LOL
Sash.
Lemao. Ha, damn. Shit. I should have seen that one coming.
I should have seen it.
Sorry, I had Nitro's issue. Just fix it. Alright, wicked. I mean, out of everything. I hate to tell you this, man, but like I'm just gonna use this as setup fodder. I'm gonna tell you in advance. This is setup fodder. Goddamn, you actually switched. Congratulations, you did it. You pressed the button.
I click button. Now will I outspeed?
That is a good question. You probably will.
Click the button.
Salt cure.
You're a bitch, you know that, right?
No, I'm just him.
No, you're not. I'll take the crit. I'll eat the crit from
Ah.
I once again click button.
Wow, holy shit. The Gargoyle is so funny. I love this guy. I always love giving Pokemon and Pixelmon some abilities for funnies. Mega Mewtwo X getting huge power, same as normal Mewtwo. While I think that's cool, I think it does have its problems.
We gonna do this.
Evidently. I mean, your Skeletor is just taking damage. My guy isn't.
Fair. Fair.
They don't have... It was just so much more than anything. Yeah, that's fair. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, never 20%? Never 20%? Oh, never 20%. I love that I've made Necrozma, like, actually okay. Like, it's kind of slow, but... How much speed investment would your Gliscor run?
Answer, yes.
We're not doing this again, are we? Oh no.
I clicked the button.
You only have physical attackers left. I'm just gonna Iron Defense. Yeah, see me personally, I'm very towards some of my favorite mons, such as those in my fighting team. That is awesome though. If you ever come up with like a good idea, like a good ability for any of them, then please do share them. If you have any good ideas for them, because I would love to see it. Also, Zealots, if no, never mind, it took a little while to update. I thought you hadn't like taken a role on my Discord. I'm Knuckles. I could just click it again. For a second I thought you didn't have any roles in my Discord, but if you have any ideas for the Showdown thing. If you join the Showdown server, oh yeah, you are in there now. You can just create a change proposal. I'm quad resistant to X scissor.
Fair.
That doesn't have a focus sash.
Well, we're doing this.
I have pressure, so you're gonna run out of PP pretty soon. I mean, I told you the weakness of this is Corviknight. Oh boy. Yeah, we are doing this, I'm sorry.
I don't
Okay.
have shit to deal with that.
Yeah, you don't have anything against the bird. Because, like, the only special attacker you have is Skeledirge, and if that gets whittled down, then you're just cooked. You need more special attackers. I think that Rattata should go, because, like, yeah, it brought my Ferrothorn to 1 health, but, like, then what? That just switched it out.
It was just there to be happy.
Let me open normal Showdown and try to rebuild some of my teams, and they're varied, so you can get a see for what I actually said. If you want, actually, Zealots, the regular format for Generation 9, OU, doubles OU, and National Decks, like unmodded, are available on my page as well. So you can also save it on my page. Well, technically on my page, basically it just saves it in the local storage for my URL instead of for Showdown's URL, because they don't share the storage. Yeah, you need a special attacker. Or anything goes due to the generation limits. If it's like I can't if it's like I can't use this because generation limit, because like I want a mega and that they don't exist in Gen 9, that is national decks. If you also, I think you should just be fine to, let's say, Mega Rayquaza. Oh no, it defaults to Gen 9. Yeah, I would have to re-enable anything goes then, if you're looking for anything that's not legal or like not clickable in national decks. Rayquaza Mega. Yeah, you can make a team with it. It just doesn't go through the validator. Ah, okay then. Ah, I like Pokemon. Oh god, one of my friends is at the command line character limit. How do you do that? Well, apparently you can only have 1,191 characters on the command line. That's the maximum length of a command you can put in. If you could just make a format that's legit anything more, so I could just... So you want me to just re-enable Gen 9 anything goes? I mean, if you just give me a second, I can put that in there. Formats copy, anything goes, Gen 9. Rule set Gen 9 standard AG. I need to update the server in a second. Okay, let me push this real quick. Yeah, sure, but for that, let's just move to the, let's move to the regular voice channel. And I'm probably going to stop streaming in a little bit as well, because I have people, I have people that want to go to bed. So I think I had a good time today, but I'm gonna stop the stream then, and then I'll just hop into the voice channel. The stage channel is has had its place, I think. So, chat, it was fun. Hopefully I'll just do this again, like on video, well structured,